What is up, guys? Happy all-time high. We are over, well, we hit over $100,000 per Bitcoin, which is one of the targets that we have been speaking about a lot on this channel. Ever since we broke out from around $70,000, we've been speaking about the highs of the top of the trend line. Now we are in the next stage of the market. We're in the stage where it gets very choppy. We're in the stage of altcoin season. And with volatility, there's opportunity. Where there's opportunity, there's money to be made. With that being said, I'd like to introduce Crypto Data to the stage. You can see that we have a new a new logo for the Christmas themed, right? So yeah, go ahead, Crypto Data, take it away.
Hey, Tyrell, always a pleasure to be on. Yeah, now I got to get the holiday season. We're in December, Christmas is coming up, and these alts are pumping. Like you said, we passed 100K just last night. Very exciting time for everyone. I know some people have been in the market for 7+ years, like yourself and myself, and then others have only been in for 1 year or 2 years. There's their first cycle. But I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're extremely excited, and this is kind of validation for everyone in crypto because there's been a lot of, you know, criticism about Bitcoin and everything from everyone, even in the TradFi space, on the news, and I think it just kind of validates crypto as an asset, even Bitcoin more so as an asset, store value. We even had Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, who commented yesterday. He was on a video saying, you know, don't compare Bitcoin to the dollar, compare Bitcoin to gold because it is a store of value, is digital gold. He literally said that. And so if that doesn't tell you Bitcoin's position in the whole economy, nothing will. And that's what helped cause this rise in Bitcoin that we saw. Like you said, we passed 100K and now we reached over 104K, and then we had a retracement. Now, a lot of people are asking me, hey, why do we have the retracement? Why are they able to sell off? And a couple reasons for that. So I just want to kind of break down and kind of cover what happened with that. So originally when we were having this run up, Bitcoin was passing 90K and then it was chopping around between 90 and 100 for a while. We started to have a lot of chop in altcoins, and a lot of people, again, were getting chopped up. Ethereum wasn't doing too much, Doge wasn't doing too much, and most altcoins were kind of underperforming because all the liquidity was going into Bitcoin. And this is something important because alts start outperforming, just before alt season starts.
Yeah.
And what we saw was we had that rise in Bitcoin, which was actually perp driven. So there wasn't much spot buying here. Basically, a couple people buying up Bitcoin, pushing it above 100,000. A lot of people leveraged long this break. I know a lot of smart guys, smart girls who leveraged long this, and they thought we were going up to at least this trend line of 107K or higher, or even 120. There's a lot of talks of that. Once we break 100, we'll go to 120. So basically what happened was you got to 104K, but since this wasn't really spot driven and only perp driven, well, you know as well as I do that those market makers love to hunt liquidity. They love to hunt stop losses. And so obviously the longs were offsides. There's a ton of liquidity to the downside. Market makers took advantage of that. Basically took Bitcoin, shot it right back down, took all that liquidity all the way down to 90K, which flushed a lot of people out of Bitcoin. But the interesting thing was altcoins didn't really move down that much. Even some altcoins actually kept going higher, not even 10 minutes after this flush happened. And we can actually go into a little bit about that in a minute, but that's basically what caused this whole move to happen and why now we're starting to see this shift from Bitcoin into altcoins.
And how much was that liquidation amount?
Yeah, so actually we can go onto CoinGlass here, and you can see 919 million, but I even posted on my X account here, I said, huge flush from Bitcoin to 90K, over 1 bill of liquidations. So we even got over $1 billion today. And one of the things I was posting about was it usually marks the bottom within 3 days. You look at any time we've had over $1 billion of liquidations, the FTX collapse, even near, I want to say it was earlier this year, we had a large flush. And, there's World War III tensions, a lot of FUD, and that was, I believe, near 800 million, and that marked a temporary bottom. And that took a couple days because, of course, Bitcoin chops. But the interesting thing was whenever we had this liquidation, most of this was just Bitcoin longs. A few altcoins were going down, but most of this was Bitcoin centric. And we'll go over some charts in a minute that show that altcoins barely moved relative to their market cap if we look at the others chart.
And
So, yeah.
this is fascinating, bro, because like usually when we hit $1 billion liquidation amount, that's 20 to 30% pullback.
Yep.
This time
100%.
it was 1 billion, but it was one candle on a short wick. So that may have potentially been the pullback that people was looking for. It just didn't turn out to be what people thought, because we hit the 105 and we came down to 90,000, right? What percent
Yep.
pullback is that? Is that 10?
Yeah, so we can
105 to
do,
90.
yeah, so if we go to the top here, about 104 all the way down to 90, that's a 13% pullback in the span of less than 24 hours.
Okay, so we could, in theory, revisit those lows. Of course, that's what a lot of people will be looking for. Yes, but the key thing that you're going to show us is the altcoin strength compared to Bitcoin right now, which is very interesting.
Yes. So, like you mentioned, usually when we have a Bitcoin pullback, we see a bigger pullback on alts. We see 20 to 30% pullbacks across the board. But the interesting thing was most altcoins didn't do that at all. They had maybe a 10% pullback and then an immediate rebound and even got to local highs. And so, yeah, we'll go ahead and cover some altcoin charts, specifically altcoin charts paired against Bitcoin. So you look at Ethereum BTC. This chart is actually on the verge of a breakout on the daily. So ETH BTC continues to make higher highs. It's at 0.039. Strongly believe when we get above 0.04, fireworks are going to happen. And so this was one example of altcoins versus Bitcoin and really how much resiliency they had. Now, let's talk about others. So others is the market cap of all the altcoins excluding Bitcoin. So if we just look at this here, now I'll go ahead and do some quick TA on this. Right there. Okay. So even if you look at the hourly chart, here, you can see that whenever we had that pullback, if we look at it apples to apples, so Bitcoin went from, 103, call it December 4th at 2100 down to December 5th at 1600. So we take that same price and we'll go ahead and look at that. So December 4th at 21. Yeah, look, December 4th at 21 and then down to December 5th. Yeah. So if you look at that, really, there wasn't any pullback with others, right? Like
Crazy.
you can even see if we draw this as a support level. Like others, this is when Bitcoin is breaking down. Others was actually increasing versus Bitcoin. And so that shows you that the strength in altcoins continued. And we can just look at altcoins in general. So Ethereum here. Look at Ethereum. Whenever we had the small pullback, it literally bounced off of its trend line at 3680, and then it's continuing higher. It's higher than it was yesterday. Whereas Bitcoin is at 97K versus 104K yesterday. So obviously, there's a lot of altcoin strength here. And this is what I was looking at, and everyone should be looking at, is relative strength versus Bitcoin. Because when you have coins like Ethereum, Phantom, Avax, Solana, outperforming not even 12 hours after the drop versus Bitcoin, that shows you that people were waiting for these altcoins. They had bids set. They were ready to long these altcoins. But basically what happened was some people were over leveraged long Bitcoin. That wiped them out. The shorts covered at the bottom near 90K. And then the longs ended up getting stopped out or took profit on the way up. And that's what we saw the shift. And now we're seeing the transition from Bitcoin to altcoins. And when we start the real alt season, in my opinion, is just getting started.
Yeah, because when you have a BTC pullback and alts are showing this level of strength, that goes to show you that your altcoins are finally starting to outperform Bitcoin. Whereas for the past, I would even say 4 years, BTC has been outperforming altcoins, right? It went down a little bit, and then after it went down a little bit, it's just been on the way up for about 3 years. So now we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing BTC, start to just chop out and take out the perps. And we're seeing altcoins really start to rush and go to the moon. So let's go over some of the calls that we had in the trenches so far, and some of the newer plays that we're looking at as well.
All right, let's do it. So we can see some of the calls that we recently... Do you want me to go ahead and pull up the Telegram channel of the trenches?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's go.
Why not?
All right, let me... All right, so here we go. So let's just cover... I mean, we won't go too far back, but let's go to November 24th, okay? 2 weeks back. We called WorldCoin, and we actually hit all our profit from WorldCoin. 45% profit on leverage for TP1. We took the ENA trade at 61 cents, and we actually hit our first take profit not even 4 hours later. And then we hit our second TP another 10 hours later. 103% on 3x leverage, which a lot of people now are even trading 5 to 10x leverage. So multiply that by, another 3 to 5x. And then we also had Doge. This one, I'm still strongly believe this one will break out. So it's actually just above our entry right now. I think it's a laggard versus a lot of other plays similar to Ethereum. So this one still has a lot of potential to play out. We also hit our second take profit on Avax, which we took a long on this at $29. You can see here, long Avax, $28.96. And so that's 197% profit on 3x leverage. Our take profit 2 hit on World. Take profit 2 was hit on Spec, 63% profit. Render, we were in Render since, look at this, $7.17. We just hit take profit 2 and 3 last night when it got listed on Upbit. 30%. All our members made at least 50 to 100% or more, and even more if they took 5, 10x leverage. And so now a little alpha for the chat is now we're looking at Cas. Cas is one of the coins where I think it is yet to really outperform versus most of the L1s and other plays that we've seen pump in the top 100. And we can actually look at that as well. But if you want to tell your members how they can get into the trenches so they can get on some of these gains, because you can see we're not just making gains every day. We are making gains every day, but we're not making calls literally, every hour. We're waiting for those good setups to happen. And that's why we're able to capitalize on all these profits, where most people, they post 10 setups a day and they may hit one, where we post maybe one setup a day, but we're, basically 100% strike rate, knock on wood, for those plays.
Yeah, because the goal here isn't just to spam. It is to make sure that we're getting the right entries to have success, right? So exactly. If you do want to join the trenches, the link for that is in the description. Go in the description. You can find 3 links. Only 3 links. Is very simple. The first link is Crypto Data's trading channel. In there, you'll be able to get all the early updates from Crypto Data. The second link is my Telegram announcement channel. Inside of my Telegram announcements channel, you will find the link for the trenches. The trenches is the pinned link inside of my Telegram channel. So go to my Telegram channel, you click the pinned link, and there you will see it. The third link, which is also very important, is Blowfin. Now, Blowfin is a non-KYC crypto exchange. It is one of the best because it is easy to use. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your laptop, and from there, you'll be able to take these trades that we put in. So it's very simple. All you need is the trenches, Blowfin, and the Telegram channels. If you want to find out specifically, if I go onto my Telegram, just so you can actually see it, I think it is this one. I'll have to load up a new screen. 1 second. Then, in fact, you can show if you can go on to the can you go onto my Telegram announcements channel?
Yeah.
And then just check the pinned message.
Yeah. We'll go on that.
There. And then the pinned message. There. Yeah. So from there, guys, you can see it says @Trenches membership bot. All you do is you click that link, and from there, you'll be able to log in to the trenches. Once you're inside there, it's very step by step. There's a video tutorial, and you sign in. So that's how you get inside of the trenches. From the trenches, if you can go on the trenches,
Yep.
just, yeah.
Whoops. Trenches. Okay.
From the trenches, you can see there's multiple channels. There is technical analysis, official calls, leverage trades. So the top three channels is where the majority of your attention needs to be. You can see TA, which will be like, this is, I have a list of tokens which I'm interested in. Things like Neo, Render, Avax, Arve, ADA, Sand, Gala, all of these coins, I have a list of them. And there you'll see the TA for all of them, right? Official calls is where you get official leverage calls. Okay, these will be the trades that we've just spoken about. And then we also have meme coin calls as well, where you can find out the best meme coins to trade as well. So it's everything in one space. You don't have to pay for anything. We're not charging you $100 a month, $200 a month like most people. We're not asking you to pay $5,000 or like whatever to get in. It's completely for free. All you have to do is you log in and you join the trenches, and you can get all this information completely for free. With that being said, Data, let's have a look at the next setup, which we was having a look at for the most recent call, which was done if some people want to come in and take a new play.
Yeah, definitely. So the next one was Caspa. So this is the one we're talking about. It's been underperforming versus other L1s, versus other altcoins, GameFi AI, etc.
Bro,
And one of the reasons
massively
why, yes,
underperforming, bro.
a lot.
And that just makes me even
And
more bullish on Caspa.
yeah, I mean, you look at the run it had in May when it just basically was up only. I think here we're seeing something similar where, it had the pullbacks, but yet it's not having quite the amount of pumps that the other coins are having. So something that we were looking at is, the RSI here is even starting to curve to the upside. So you can see
Ooh.
it's starting to cross the signal line on the daily. And then now you can see we've kind of formed a little base here. You can call it micro support, whatever you want to call it. But we're starting to form a little base around this 15.7 cent level. So I saw that. I saw the RSI was basically stagnant, but now it's starting to curve to the upside. So I said, hey, I think this is good risk reward wise. They have good tech. The teams are good. They haven't stopped deving. It's one of those things where it's just a lagging play because it doesn't have a lot of attention, and it got so hyped before, especially when they released their KRC20, like their main net, that again, all that hype shifted over to everything else, and it's just been kind of lagging. But in my opinion, I think it's a good play long term. I think we'll definitely see it, at least 20 cents by the end of this month, if not a lot sooner, because it is a lagging play and it's eventually going to catch up. But in my opinion, I think it's one of those plays where you're not buying it, near its all-time highs. You're not buying it when the RSI is super overbought on the daily. So that's the kind of plays we look for in the trenches. We look for plays that are near those major support levels, that have good risk to reward, the indicators aren't overbought, and they give you the best chance of making a profit via the rotations or just the mind share that we think is eventually going to come to that coin, or, the setups are very advantageous to get a position in at the very least.
Yeah, one thing that also makes me really bullish about Casper is it's one of the last cult memes, and I will say meme because it basically is a meme. It's one of the last cults left, right? If you have a look at what happened to the XRP cult, well, it went absolutely crazy. You have the Quant cult, you have the Hbar cult. Casper's in that category. It goes XRP, Quant, Hbar, Casper, and whenever it has a pump, you have all these influencers come out of the woodwork, be like, I spoke about this, da 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 da, and you have all the price prediction videos that come out. Even I was making videos about it. It goes crazy views, like, oh, Casper price prediction videos, right? And now it's gone very, very quiet. But like you said, once it hits that 20 cents level, that will be the level where all the attention comes back on it, and people will be like, oh, Casper price predictions, XYZ, and everybody starts to buy it spot. But the difference is this time round is that we are in altcoin season. So that's why you will see way, way, way more strength. Casper for me is actually something which I'm going to be averaging. I'm going to average a good position in it. Okay, because when I look at XRP, I was like, oh, I should have really had a good position in XRP. When I look at ETH, I managed to get a good position in ETH. When I look at Hbar, I completely missed out on Hbar. Ondo as well, even RSR. Okay, so like in hindsight, it always looks 2020. And I think the hindsight for Caspa is going to look 2020. Like you're going to look back to this video, same way that we look back at when we look back at Render, same way when we look back at when we were speaking about spec, and everybody was saying, oh, well, spec and what's this AI bullshit? And now look, everybody's like, oh, spec is the future and all that stuff, right? I think Caspa's going to be that play. The main thing that you want to look for, guys, is as data says, we're at this micro support. Now, if you have a look at the last time we ran up, it was still choppy. So, Dave, if you can go back to the last run up that we had with Caspa that you spoke about, there, yeah, look how choppy that was. Very, very choppy. This to the highs. Yep. We went up, what, 100%. So that's a 10x on 10x leverage. But multiple times we had huge pullbacks along that way up. And big, big wicks on the daily, right? Many of them. So expect that, right? Expect these wicks is what I would say personally. And it's even what I have to do. Like sometimes I'm looking at my trading account and I'll glaze on it and I'll shit my pants when I see like I'm down like a couple grand and I'm like, fuck, right? And then I have to zoom out and I have to look at the bigger picture and remind myself that, hold on a second, the last time Caspa ran up, it wicked down multiple times. But in the same day, it was already back up and finished on a green candle, right? So this is just what you have to get used to, which is why I say if you do take these trades, make sure that you have a decent amount of margin. Make sure if you're not playing with the house's money, don't use like 10x. Maybe start with 3x till you get some wins under your belt and then move to 10x. If you've got a couple wins under your belt and you're using the house's money, why not go 10x leverage, and give it a risk. Take a risk it for a biscuit, because 100% on 10x leverage is a 10x trade. With meme coins, you make a 10x, you feel like an absolute legend. Right now with altcoins, you could do the exact same thing.
Exactly. And I think too, altcoins, it's safer because it's not as easy for a couple people to rug the project or to cheat, 10, 20, 30K. If someone sells 10, 20, 30K of a certain altcoin, it's not going to kill the altcoin. Maybe make it go down 0.1%, if that, right? Whereas meme coins, it basically kills the project. So I think that a big thing is just with these altcoins, if you know alt season is coming and you're buying these at major support levels, when the indicators are at a good position as well, when they're, not overbought, then I think that's where you stand the best chance of making a lot of money. And then like Tyrell said, you get on 5, 10x leverage. And, when you have a good entry, you can get on 10x leverage because your stop loss isn't too far away. Your stop loss is maybe, 3% below your price, 4% below. And so if you're willing to risk that, risk 30% of your portfolio or 30% of that trade in exchange for 500% or 1,000% gains, then that's where you have those trades that are like those 5, 10x risk to reward. So yeah, it's all about just getting good entries. And that's what we do at the trenches is we focus on that so that most of the traders who get in, we literally post what coin it is, the leverage, take profit levels, stop loss, and the reasoning. And I don't think any other group does that. So we kind of go above and beyond, and all I need to do is sign up for Blowfin, deposit USDT, and trade on there to continue receiving the signals for free, because it helps us to be able to spend a lot of time on these charts, whereas all you got to do is just take the trades and just ride the profits.
Literally. And what do you think about Reef?
Yeah, so Reef's an interesting one too, because Reef is one where it's nearly bottomed out. You can see here that we have all three charts up. I'll delete the MACD. You can see on the weekly, actually, the stock RSI is almost oversold, and then the RSI is actually curving to the upside. And one thing that's interesting about this chart is it's still near that major support, near that 0.012 level, which it's bounced off of multiple times in the past. And so that's where it's an interesting trade where it hasn't really taken off. Like we had this, little pump from September 2nd up to October 14th, had a huge drop, and now it's retesting. And so with everything else pumping right now, I think it's only a matter of time before Reef could have that run as well. And I know you were looking at the Twitter account as well, and Reef is very active in their Twitter. The team is continuing to dev, and they're continuing to provide a lot of updates and transparency. And so that's what you want to see is as long as the project's still alive and there's still developments being made, and it's at major support and bouncing like it has, potentially it could be a good play.
Yeah, because like when I look back, I was doing a little bit of review, and what I seen was the 4th of November was like the sweet spot for long in altcoins. And a lot of the trades I took where I made a lot of money on it, I didn't realize how lucky those trades were. And now when I look back, I was like, shit, 4th of November, and every chart was like, everything just shot up, right? From the lows.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a similar level to like the chart of what Reef is now. So Reef looks like the early sand, where it won't do nothing. It will just go boop, 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 boop. And all of a sudden, it will pump a 10-20% day, 10-20% day, and will be almost near the bottom of where it was last cycle. And from here, it's hundreds of percent gains, right? Which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the 3K trades to like 60 grand, the 5K trades to like 150 grand at this stage. And then the complete opposite, which is like what we were studying the other day, which is these all-time high breakouts. So I'm either looking for like all the way at the bottom or all the way at the top. Anything in the middle right now is super choppy unless it has like a strong narrative that you kind of want to hold.
Exactly. Yeah. That's where you really have to be cognizant of, what coins have bottomed out, which have good structure at major support levels, good narratives, and the team is still building. And if you got all those, then it could be a really good trade. Like you said, pump 10% day after day. So yeah, that's really good as well. And something else you reminded me of is while we're looking at a few charts, we'll cover another one, Mana, which I know we were talking about earlier. But real quick, just looking at the USDT dominance chart and how this one is still below, the 3.94% support level. And this is an interesting one because, we've been talking about USDT dominance for a while now and how it broke that 7-year trend line. And then now it's breaking this support that it had back in March. And so if we can break that, March was, in a sense, you could call it the pre-pump, right? We had a little mini alt season, February, March, going into April, and then, or call it, yeah, February, March, and then we topped out. And then from there, obviously we had a red summer. And then now, kind of coming down, we started having some big pumps starting from September. And now we're actually starting to break down, where this isn't just a pre-pump. This is getting into full-blown alt season, which in my opinion was confirmed from the alt strength relative to Bitcoin on this recent drop that we had. And so
Yes.
everyone needs to be watching USDT dominance.
And also, if you just look at the sentiment compared to those two bottoms, it is completely like flipped on its head. BTC is a lot stronger. Ethereum's a lot stronger. We have things like Sui, which is breaking its highs right now. We have ADA, which is like on its way to its highs right now. We have so many tokens which are a lot stronger than in March. In March last time, I think it was like things like Chainlink. I think it was even Caspa, which was up at those levels as well. That was when Quant started to turn around as well during that time. Now it's the whole entire market. So we are a lot stronger at this price. And exactly like what you said, when you see that BTC pump, BTC dump, normally you see everything get washed down. Everything. This time, completely different. This time we're way stronger. So in my opinion, yeah, I think Sunday we see a nice close on this. We already had the retest of the downtrend this week, literally, where we pumped up as well. So I think we get a nice close and a continuation, probably an aggressive continuation to the downside as well, because the speed at which like all of these tokens are pumping up right now is crazy. Like it's actually quite difficult which is why people are trading on with more leverage right now to get a good RR trade on like a 3 to 5x leverage on like a very simple trade. Right now, we're looking at things like all-time high breakouts, 4-hour 618 retests. We're looking at obviously continuations. So we're not really looking at a position of the market where we're looking at things like being bottomed out that I was looking at in March, for example, when we had the mini March altcoin season. So I completely agree. Extremely bullish factor for this. Now let's speak about some take profit levels, because we have to be the bearer of bad news. Like, this won't happen forever. So let's look at some take profit levels where we can start to bank some of these altcoin profits as the USDT dominance starts to pull down.
100%. So I will say, people, for USDT dominance on the weekly, potentially here you can, I mean, one, look for when USDT dominance reaches, call it this level, 3.2%, a little support there. And I would say the major support is going to be this 2.57%. So this is when I would really start. And this may be, again, if we just look at this little squiggly line I drew, near May or June, right? As we get towards kind of the top of the market, maybe towards September, October. But definitely start looking at this 2.57%. And then obviously you have others, but this one has been very strong support, which is where it bounced on November 2021, which everyone knows that was the top of that market, right? And so I'd be watching this level for potentially the top of the 2025 market. So just keep that in mind. Something else to be watching, at least a local top, if anything.
Yes,
So you
because
talk. Yep.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Because I was saying that, yeah, we talked about, USDT dominance just being such an important indicator, but obviously we can't deny the big support levels, and eventually, history doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. So at this point, I would be expecting nation states, countries, everyone to be buying. The strategic Bitcoin reserve has already started in the
Yes.
US, extremely bullish catalysts to be happening around this time. And at that point, we could be getting, very euphoric, obviously. And so people need to keep an eye on these levels and just know that these are one of the main, take profit levels, at least from a USD dominance perspective. But we'll also talk about the altcoin perspective in a minute as well.
That's hilarious. That's exactly what I was about to say. I was about to say, like, that stage is when it's the most bullish, but it's also the time to be taking profit. Like, it's a mistake that I made last cycle, was getting caught up in the fundamentals, okay, and not really in the technicals, because you don't actually need fundamentals when it comes to taking profit. You need fundamentals, in my opinion, when it comes like for gaining conviction and holding and buying. But when it comes for selling, you don't really need fundamentals. You kind of need technicals. You need to be able to look at something and be like, okay, all these charts, they're saying that the last time we hit this, we bounced, and that time ended up being the top of the market. Okay, so let me secure some of my investment, because yeah, we might go lower, okay, which is like even more bullish, but at least I've left this cycle with 10 times more money, 100 times more money than what I came into it with.
Exactly. Exactly. And then when you look at just altcoins in general, so for example, like you have coins like Solana, which I think are going to do very well. There's different ways you can think of taking profits. Now, obviously, you have your indicators, like when the RSI gets way overbought on the weekly, etc. Or you can have, all-time high indicators. Like Solana is already basically reaching those all-time highs, but in a way, could you start drawing trend lines, right? And then where it intersects at, like in October 2025, for example, if you wanted to, most people, I mean, psychological levels are a big way as well. So most people are thinking, $1,000 is going to be that top take profit for Solana. Now, you wouldn't take profit everything at 1,000. Maybe you could look at, okay, incrementally, 500, and then maybe 750, and then maybe start incrementally doing that. So that's something that I look at as well. And also those big trend lines. So trend lines are something where, potentially you could even, if there's a significant trend line, you could take profit there as well. In my opinion, I think DCAing out is the best way to do it. And like
Yep.
Tyrell, you were saying, using Fibonacci levels, it's like the 1.68. That's really big. And then you also have, the 2 points, I think 2.618 and a few others as well that can actually be good take profit levels. Also, looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum here, this is another one I'm watching. I mean, look, we're even seeing Ethereum almost break its highs of yesterday now. You could see on the weekly
Woo!
trend line. Hey,
Bullish!
look,
Bullish!
hey, look at this trend line break on the weekly from November of 2021. Boom, breaking it now. So Ethereum's about to start. You're seeing it here live, but you could see on this. This is the trend line. Actually, you have trend lines that are reliable like this on Ethereum. For example, January 2018, the highs there, and then you connect that to the highs of May 2021, connect that to the highs of November 2021. It respects this trend line perfectly. So if we're expecting the top to be October 2025, lines up with the global liquidity cycle, the 4-year cycle, 2 years of bull market, 2 years of bear market. The bull market started in October of 2023, right about here. So that's when everything started going off. So in my opinion, Ethereum at a minimum should top out at 8,200, but also let's say Ethereum goes a little bit higher. Let's say, we go a little bit high and then we reach like this level. Well, 7,500, you can be sure it may do something like this, right? Where it literally did something like 2021, where it reached a high, pulled back, reached another high. So that's why these trend lines are important, because they can help you gauge when to take profit. Same thing with Bitcoin here. If you go on the weekly and you zoom out, you can see that we have this trend line, exact same thing. So if you draw it from just 2017, and then it got respected February, March, April, and November of 2021. So who's not to say here that, again, we were very close to this trend line actually just yesterday. It almost got to this 107K level, which I would have definitely been shorting up there. But yeah, so right here, it intersects at 120K. And I actually think we're going to go a lot higher than this, just from all the catalysts that are happening. But
It could be one
nonetheless,
of those where we break higher and this now becomes a support. And then we spend a little bit of
exactly.
time higher and then we break down below it and that becomes a bear market when we go below it. Something like that.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, that could do it very, very much. So that's why it pays to have these trend lines, because like Tyrell said, they don't just act as resistance, they can also act as support levels once they break and close above. And so you just need to be watching this. And again, that's where it helps to DCA out. And like there's other ways as well. Okay, another way to look, or a thing to look at, is top free apps. You just look at Apple app ranks, click on the top free apps, and you can see the Coinbase app rank. It's number 13 today. So there's been a lot of talks when this reaches number 1, maybe a top of a market. Now there's different signals. Everyone's looking at it right now, so it probably won't work. You may have to look at other apps such as Phantom. It's ranked 97 right now, or even Moonshot. So Moonshot is another one where everyone basically was buying meme coins with Apple Pay.
Yes.
So this is another one to look at. When this gets ranked number 1, literally all the normies are on it. This is when you're going to see it advertised everywhere, like on Jimmy Kimmel, on all the late night talk shows. Jimmy Fallon, all of those guys are going to be talking about it, just like they did with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which marks the top in 2021 of NFTs. And so that's another thing I look at. Also, Tyrell was talking about breaking down trends, talking about EMAs here. So there's another EMA. Let's go ahead and I believe it's the 21. Let's see, is it the 21 weekly EMA? Let me just, yeah. So this blue line here. So this is another one. So this 21 weekly EMA, I believe this one was actually pretty accurate in predicting like bear markets. Whenever you had Bitcoin stay below this for a significant amount of time, let's say 4 to 5 weeks, then the market trend shifted. Here you can only see it was a couple weeks before it got back above it. But if we actually go back to the past, anytime you see here that we stay below it for a significant amount of time, that's whenever we ended up starting the bear market, right? So whenever you have it retest it and reject it, like it did here, that's when you're saying, okay, we started the bear market now. Whereas here, yes, it stayed below it for a good amount of time, but it came back and actually closed above it. If you actually zoom in here. And so that we knew, okay, the bear market's, or the bull market is still on. But here we came back, rejected it, closed below it, and then it kept going. And here it didn't stay above it for a significant amount of time, continued lower. And so these are the kind of things where you got to watch. And again, it's just little things like this. Um, Besides that, you have your standard euphoria signals. Everyone and your mom asking about Bitcoin. But yeah, I feel like this time around it's going to be a little different because you have nation states, countries buying. Even the Saudis are buying. There was talks of the Saudis were buying what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they have unlimited oil money. So if they're buying Bitcoin ahead of the United States, there's no telling how high we're going to go and what the cycle top is going to be. But it's probably going to be Germany buying Bitcoin. I think Germany's going to be used as a scapegoat this time around because I think they're very anti against it. So once they start buying, they're probably going to be the exit liquidity.
I like that. I like that. Germany, the exit liquidity, especially after all that bullshit they was doing before. But that was so annoying.
Hey,
We was about to
no,
break out and
exactly.
they
So
started just selling on us.
from what I heard, they were forced to sell their 53. How much? 53. It was 53 billion, or was it? Or is that no? It's 5 billion, right?
Yeah,
like 3 to 5 billion or something.
something
Yeah,
ridiculous.
something ridiculous. So I think they're forced to sell that. And so with that said, I think that once they're told to buy or they're okay to buy, I think they're going to be exit liquidity. I heard that from someone. It was a high up
Yeah,
person, and yeah,
it's a smart idea.
yeah. So
What do you think about? Or somebody sent a super chat, asked about Jesus coin. We'll leave that for now. I
Jesus.
don't know. I don't know if that's like he might be shilling some dodgy shit. So we'll leave that for now.
Okay.
If I start seeing Jesus coin trending, I'll change my mind. But there you go. You've got your shout out. You got it out of me anyway, right? Right. Um, what was I going to say? Dogecoin. Let's have a look at Doge because Doge is the one. I've got a big bag of Doge, holding strong. It's looking good.
Man, Doge is teasing us. Doge is
Yeah.
teasing us right now. It's in this ascending triangle, but it's getting very close to breaking out. If I still have my drawing, this would be spot on. I think I drew it something like this, where I was thinking, it's going to go up here. So I still believe this. It's in this ascending triangle on the daily. It's flirting with resistance. Doge is going to break out when it closes the daily above 45 cents. When it closes at 45, that's when all bets are off. That's when we're going to the moon. You can see the indicators are primed. The stock RSI curving to the upside from the bottom, the RSI getting closer to that signal line crossover on the daily, and we're flirting with this resistance on the ascending triangle. So it's only a matter of time before we break out, and it's going to send us past the local highs. And that's when we're going to start looking at these big levels like we saw in the past. It's going to go to 50. It's going to break it because it retested 50 once, or about, it's called 48 cents. It retested that once. It's going to break above it, potentially go for 57. Have a reject here. I'll even draw it. Have a rejection. Probably do something like this. Rejection, maybe something like that. Break above again, down, and then rejection, and then higher, right? And so I think it's going to do something like that, obviously in a shortened amount of time. But yeah, Doge is very close. We even had a tweet from Elon. Let me pull that up real quick. So he tweeted with his son, I think Doge and Doge Jr. or something similar. Let me see if I can find it here. He was tweeting a lot today. If I can't find it quick, I'll just, yeah. Anyway, he had another tweet where he had something like this with his kid, but he had like Doge and Doge Jr. And so that was where I thought, okay, there's a lot. Elon is still promoting Doge, obviously, because Doge is the Department of Government Efficiency at DOGE. And so it's only a matter of time before he gets into office January 20th with Trump, and he starts, you start hearing Doge everywhere around the news. And so that's when really the mania is going to start. And it's only a matter of time before Doge really breaks out here and again gains that mind share like it once had a couple weeks ago.
One chart I'm interested in having a look at, bro, and it just came from my head. What do you think about ETH Doge?
ETH Doge, it's interesting. Let's go ahead and check that out. Ooh, okay, let's see if we can.
Doge.
Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. This is a very interesting chart. So
It's not
ETH
as
against Doge. Is this
yeah.
right?
So it's not
Yeah.
as clean as I'd think it would look, but I suppose
No,
Doge
here,
just goes a
let's.
straight line.
So basically, what this shows is, more or less, Ethereum's been underperforming against Doge, call it since July. And we've obviously seen that because Doge has just been going wild. Um, But I think, yeah, and this is whenever I think Doge just get on SNL and then it had the huge drop there. But I do think that Ethereum is very close to outperforming Doge again. I think if
Yeah.
you're holding both, it wouldn't be a bad bet either. But yeah, that's another interesting chart to look at.
It's
I mean,
crazy
the
that's bottomed out,
indicators,
right? So this means that
dude, very much on the weekly.
ETH could
Yeah,
be pumping heavy.
absolutely. And that matches up with
ETH BTC.
the, yeah, exactly. With the ETH chart, that's at 3908. Look at that, broke above 3900.
I think
So
I'm gonna take a long on it. I'm gonna take a long on ETH. Yeah.
so there's that. You have I'll pull up ETH BTC as well. Look at that. Ooh, daily's breaking up. Yeah, that daily's breaking up with authority right now. So that's
Yeah.
something to look at.
I'm gonna take a
Yeah,
ETH perpetuals long. What ETH spot long? Yeah.
because I mean Caspa is at 163 right now. Trench has got in at 161. So Caspa's doing good. Nice little green candle there. RSI is breaking out. Dominance continuing to decrease on USDT. Let's see. Solana's another one I mentioned. I think Solana could be in for another run now. Uh, yeah. Yeah, Solana had a nice rebound off the 21 EMA on the daily and now a lot higher. I actually drew this earlier where you had the head and shoulders pattern. It broke to the downside and now it's curving back to the upside on Solana. So I think Solana reaches 250 very soon, 258, then 263. Yeah, Solana's a good trade too if you're looking for longs. Very close.
I know. I want to take
Let's.
a. Did you call Solana right?
Yeah. Well, I know we called Solana in the trenches at like 204,
That's crazy.
which, yeah, way down here is when we called it, and I can even show that as well for proof. So we go official leverage channels, and let's go. Let's see, where was it at? Yeah, you can see, guys, when we started this with Blowfin, we called Avax at $29. Ethereum, we called it at 29.88. We called, let's see, Near at 477. Near, I think, has almost reached our TP2 target of 836. It's going to mark almost 1,000% profit. Anyone who's in 10x. Where was, let's see, Near, and we also did, yeah, Sol right here. We called Solana at 203. Take profit 1, 234. Take profit 2, 252. It reached both of those. So, and you can even see here, we post the chart. So, you know, guys, we aren't BSing. 203 here. We're not editing the messages. We literally called it here. And so, yeah, we're making all these trades. Called render 717. It reached all these TPs just the other day. So, yeah, all you need to do, sign up with the Blowfin link. We post it on it under every trade. Sign in with the affiliate link, deposit USDT, get a bonus, and then just start trading.
Can you do me a favor and show me this 7-year downtrend again? Because I'm very in. That one's very intriguing, bro.
Which
And we
one?
retested it yesterday as well, right? We retested that on Ethereum.
Oh, on Ethereum?
Yeah, because yesterday on that pullback, I think we retested it.
So on Ethereum. Oh, here, let me. You talking about the weekly one? This weekly downtrend?
Yeah,
Or which? Yeah. Yeah, we came back, and then this was, I think, during the week. But yeah, we retested this 3550 support level, which was major resistance here in July. And then, but also you can see we're closing above this trend line on the weekly, which is extremely bullish, signals a trend line shift. And so we're going to reach 4,000 this week or within the next 5 days, in my opinion. And then once we break 4K, like that's the big psychological level. And then after that, 45, I don't even think I have the resistance up here. But yeah, I mean, 4,800, it's only a matter of time before we break all time highs with that because Ethereum's been lagging for the past 2 years. If you look at the ETH BTC chart on the weekly, and you can see this downtrend here that I have on ETH BTC. This is a big one. This is a big trend line here. From September 2022, ETH BTC has been underperforming. And literally it's rejected off this trend line. Let's see, call it once, twice, 3 times, technically 4 times, five, six. 6 times it's rejected. So one, it's going to break this trend line today. The second, it's going to be this big resistance at 0.043. Then the last one is going to be this trend line resistance around 0.048. So if we can close above this, I mean, we still have a ways to go, which leads me to believe, one, ETH is just getting started, but two, it could go a lot higher than people are expecting. And so,
Yeah, I think once we break 4K and we have a close, maybe even a retest of 4K, I'm a giga long ETH. I seen
yeah, we have something like this.
MM Crypto did some MM Crypto shit. He has gone $1 million margin long on Ethereum yesterday, which is ridiculous. The biggest trade he's ever
Oh,
done,
wow.
bigger than his Bitcoin trade, like margin
Hmm.
wise. Um, so yeah. Do you know what it is? I believe, bro, in life you have to you look at certain things, you have some certain moves, and you gotta go like fuck it.
Well,
Fuck it.
you
Like,
know,
I think that 4K close. I'm gonna light a spliff. I'm gonna go fuck it. I'm gonna just delete the app, delete my
well,
Bybit.
there's something too as well with intuition. Another thing is, it's been told that humans have precognition abilities before we actually learned to talk. That's how we communicated in the wild, survived, all that stuff. And so, like, intuition, when you've been in for so long and you just feel something's different based on your experience, based on how everything's moving, like, intuitively, you're like, okay, this is actually good. Everything's clicking. And then you just take that trade. And like you're saying, I mean, 4K, it's a big psychological level, but in the past, we know ourselves, whenever that 4K level has been, retested, it just goes. Because look, if you look here, I mean, look at this. Look at this here. So back in October of 2021, when ETH crossed above, like it literally closed at $4,082. Okay. It closed at 4,082 here. And then, so if you would have longed the retest when it happened, yes, it went down to 38.90. 38.90 isn't even 10%. 38.90 from 4K, I don't even know what that is. What is that, like 3% or
Yeah,
so? Not even. So at that point, if you would have longed 10x, it sent to 48.60 in the span of 3 weeks or less. So at that point, if we just do the calculation, 48.60 minus 4,000 divided by 4,000, that's 21% move. If you're on 10x leverage, 215% you just made. So you made over a 3x.
and this is like you don't baby trade ETH. It's just something
No.
you don't do. It's like BTC. You don't baby trade BTC. Do you know? Like this,
Yeah,
no point.
100%. You're not going to use $100 to buy BTC hoping you get a 2x and then you retire. Like, no.
Do you know what I mean? You're gonna do 5 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand, 100 grand, whatever. But you're gonna put some balls behind it, right? And ETH's giving me that feeling where it's like, okay, you know, it's a slow mover, but will we see? I think 8K ETH, bro.
Well, let me show you
Think we see
something else. Do
8K
some more
ETH.
analysis here. So let's do some little history here. So the last time, whenever ETH breaks above, let's just do this real time because I haven't done this yet.
Mm.
So whenever ETH breaks above, this high consistently, or this signal line, I should say, right, and stays above it for a good amount of time, let's go ahead and look at the price range or the price increase. Okay. So here, when it crossed above, it went from, that was a 75% increase. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went below and then crossed above it again and stayed above it. So at that point, we had from here all the way to this high, a 79% increase. Here, when it crossed above it and stayed above it for a while, we had well, I mean, if you want to do all time, that's a 161% increase. And so far, we crossed above it and have stayed above it for a while. So now let's go ahead and see where we're at. So we have here, so we can call it like right here. And so far, we're at 61% increase. So if you take, I mean, really, we should be looking at the October one, but I'll go and take the average just to, so we're not cherry picking here. So 75, 79, and 161. 105%. So if you do 105%, I mean, where's that put you at? Over all-time highs, right? Literally at $5,000. Hey, we just did this real time. We just did this real time.
See, this is so this guys. If you're watching this right now, right, this isn't just bullish for ETH. This aligns with our thesis of altcoin season perfectly. Perfectly.
Yeah. Proof is in the pudding. That's why we look at data.
What do you think about cup and handle?
Cup and handle could be one too.
The cup and handle from that resistance. Big cup, big handle.
You talking about like here?
Yeah. So you got the big old cup, which is
Or are you
like,
talking about here?
yes, you got the big cup. Yep. Handle. Boom.
And all the way up. Yeah. I mean, if we do the full chart, like, yeah, big cup, big handle, and then send it all the way up.
Yeah.
To 8.2K. Yeah.
Bullish. Bullish. Because
Real
one
time,
thing,
guys, breaking trend lines,
one thing I
3,900.
want to do, I want to swap.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we get all-time highs for Doge this year. So I'm hoping we get it before New Year's, right?
Uh-huh.
Then I want to swap a proportion of my Doge for ETH. So if we get to like 70 cents, I want to swap like 30% Doge for ETH.
Yeah. May
But
not be a bad
saying
bet.
that, my targets for Doge are ridiculous. But my targets for Doge 250, 120, and then 250.
Wow.
Saying
Could be possible.
It's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, and I don't disagree with you there. One of the reasons is the X payments account. I know we talked about this a few streams ago, but this account hasn't tweeted yet. And if Elon's gonna be working with Trump, he's gonna be working with the Department of Government Efficiency, but also he wants to make Twitter the everything app, make X the everything app for payments, everything. He's working at Doge. What do you think the first payment he's gonna be that he's gonna accept on X?
He's gonna take Doge,
Right?
isn't he?
Take Doge. If this account posts Doge, oh, straight all-time highs right away.
Yeah, word.
Right away. If we're at 70 cents, $1 immediately.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, $1 Doge. So it sounds so realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
XRP is
Doge.
230.
Yeah, exactly. XRP is 230 at 132. So yeah, who's not to say Doge can't get at least to $1 or more? And that's just everything equal, right? That's not saying everything else is rising. And so if you look at the market cap right now, it's 3.78 trillion. What do you think the market cap will get at for the all-time highs, in your opinion? Because I have a number in mind or a range in mind. I'm curious if it matches up.
3.8 billion. Sorry, is that where we're at right now?
3.8 trillion.
Trillion, sorry. 3.8 trillion. I reckon 10 trillion, 15 trillion.
Yeah. So I was thinking 8 to 10 trillion.
Yeah.
So I think I've asked other people, I think around 10 trillion plus or minus a couple trillion, which is funny to say. I think that's just a couple trillion plus or minus, right? I think that's a good range. I think that would put Bitcoin, obviously it's at more or less 2 trillion market cap. So if we think Bitcoin's going to 200K, that obviously put 2 trillion on top of this. So it'd be, 5.8 trillion. And then from there, we still got 3 trillion to play around with, or 4 trillion to play around with. What we were talking about earlier, we were talking about the others chart. What's the others chart market cap right now? It's 424 billion.
Wow.
424, literally. So, so yes, I know that, you have the other top nine. Actually, let's go and do this. Let's go and put up this chart. Let's do total 2. Total 2 is everything excluding Bitcoin. Total 2 is at 1.57 trillion. So if Bitcoin doubles, that's 2 trillion extra. It'd be 5.8 trillion for the market, and we're thinking 10 trillion. That's an extra 4 trillion. Total 2 is at 1.57. So that's another what, double, triple in the crypto, basically altcoin market cap, like of everything. And so not all of that's going to be in the top 10 coins. Most of that, at least a couple trillion, is going to be in everything else. And obviously, it's not going to be spread equally. A lot of it's going to be in the top 200 coins, and then some of the main memes that aren't in the top 200 that are like in maybe the top 1,000. And so when you don't need a lot of money to pump those low cap coins like you and I know. If you have even a couple million, we're talking a couple million out of a couple trillion, those meme coins can go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100x.
This is ridiculous. Okay, I found a little chart I was just looking at. What do you think about
Yep.
Atom?
Atom, that's another one. I saw someone actually asking about that as well. That one I haven't looked at in a while, but it's due
since
for a
fucking
run.
last cycle.
Dude. Literally, Atom. Oh man! And I remember every time it started to have a run, it just died. Like
Yes.
it didn't really sustain, right? I think that. I mean, yeah, it's a good chain and all. The hype, I haven't kept up with it in a long time, just because the hype died down and it was just kind of clunky, all that stuff. But in saying that,
Apologies.
chart doesn't lie, right? You got, I mean, RSI is getting overbought, but still a little room to run. Stock RSI, it can stay overbought for a little bit. And then the MACD, though, MACD is still, technically a lot of room. So if I had to guess, maybe 16 over the next few months. Above that, like if there's something that can break it above 16, yeah, we got a lot of air around here. Like I would say at least 22 if it can break and close above 16. There's a lot of air. But it's going to take a lot of work getting there because as you've seen, yes, it's gone from 4 to 10 over the past, what is that, month or so, which isn't bad at all. Like that's a 150% move over the past month. So it's just been silently rising. Like, so it could be a sleeper pick. It could be something that, hey, still some room to go. We could still go to 1330, which is a 30% move from here. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at what they're doing. If there's any.
Yeah, it might be Twitter trench. It might be a Twitter trench.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we may have to go into the Twitter trend, see what's going on, see if there's any big developments, any AI integrations that they're having, anything of that sort. But yeah, it's yeah, potentially it hasn't really broken out. I could even see this little trend line if we stretch this. Maybe this is a trend line here, resistance, but kind of a stretch.
Yeah, it's just because like when you look at Hbar, Quant, and even like Metis as well. Like for example, pull up the Quant chart. Yeah. That's what I'm expecting for Atom. So you see when you look at the middle of that break up, like that old support, yeah.
Yeah.
Any of that, like there, yeah, like that's what I'm thinking is about to happen for Atom.
Yeah.
And then once it gets
Here, I can
here,
even.
that's survival of the fittest. This is like
Yeah, right.
this is where it either goes all the way back down again, or it goes all the way up.
Exactly. No, 100%. I think
Yeah,
it's one of
look
those things
exactly the
where,
same. Crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how the charts look. Very, yeah.
Yeah, I took an Atom trade. I did take it Atom
Did you?
trade. Yeah, because I just
Nice.
thought, look, it's 30% to the retest, right? That's 300%. I can literally like even close the trade there, and then I can just wait for it to close above 15. And then if it
Mm-hmm.
closes above 15, then obviously, that's you're gonna have to reopen the long.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's yeah, it's definitely one that's lagging. I mean, you had the double bottom here on the weekly. You had a little, a little double bounce. And so similar to quant, little double bounce. Yeah, it's an interesting chart. It's very, very interesting.
Then check out Hbar.
Okay. Such a
Exactly the
crazy
same.
move. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. It's crazy.
That, bro, the fuck's going
Yeah.
on? It's exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone. You got Cosmos here. You got Hbar here. You got, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, look, I mean, you're talking about a trade here, bro.
Yeah. It's interesting. It is. I mean, you can even see with, I mean, the MACD crossing to the upside, crossing to the upside. Stock RSI way overbought, overbought. RSI was overbought and then went higher. RSI is about to be overbought. So, yeah,
Oh, so even the
technically,
RSIs were looking the same.
yeah, the RSI is probably at this point was, yeah,
Yeah.
right about here. Um, right where Adam's at right now before a full send. So it's an interesting one.
Dale, I know you want to take that trade. I know you want to take that trade. What's the potential gain?
I mean, short term, 30%. Leverage, 300%. It's let me look at mm, I mean on a retest, I mean you could probably draw a range here. Let's see. So we could probably go, I mean, let's see. That's a big range.
It's a
We
big
could
old range.
probably go like this, like between 890 to 930-ish. Buying somewhat support. If we go on the daily, we could go here. Let me do. Oh shit! Hold on. If we go on the daily, yeah. I mean, as long as it can hold, like yeah, between this 890 to 930 level, I mean, we already saw it retested on the daily, now bouncing off of it. So potentially not a bad trade here. Um, yeah, I mean, if you want to take incremental profits, it'd be about 1080, 1260, and then yeah, 1350. Like that'd be if you're trying to trade it on the daily chart here. But yeah, I mean, it's not a horrible trade, you know?
Crazy. Okay,
Yeah. So,
somebody's asking about Luna.
all right, let's go search Luna. I think Luna actually did pretty good since we mentioned it in your last stream.
Yeah, it was nice, but I made some good money on it, bro. I made some good money on it, and I want to open it again. I'll be honest.
Did you do the Luna Classic, Loon C, or which Luna did you do?
Lunacy.
And so yeah, because it sent. It
Yeah.
definitely sent. Uh yeah, Loon C. Not
Yeah.
bad. RSI is starting to get overbought like every altcoin, but I could still see Loon C going to at least 0.0002. So getting up here before rejecting, which is still what 10, 15% move, around 15%. So up to 150% on 10x leverage.
Hmm.
So I mean, we
There's a
could
lot of interesting plays here.
very much.
Let's have a look at Avax.
Oh, yes. You already have that one up. Let me see if I have that up. No. Okay.
I
Yeah, I
don't
was
even
looking at
have
AVAX
my.
earlier.
Well, I closed my Avax trade like a nerd as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Here, let me
it's
see.
not
I have
far
it.
off from where it is now, though. Like,
I had it open on one of these charts already. Here it is. Okay. So AVAX 5160. AVAX is an absolute buy if you can get it near $48 near this retest here. Absolutely a buy. I think we're going to see resistance around 60 psychological level and where we rejected off last time in March. And then obviously, near 100, it's going to be resistance. Besides that, I mean, maybe some resistance near 67, but other than that, there's a lot of air around here. So I think it just sends afterwards.
and the
So I
daily is
strongly
looking
believe it.
so strong.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, the daily's looking so good for Avax, bro.
Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, that RSI wants to cross back above the signal line. And you had the daily with this wick to retest support December 3rd. Now it looks like it wants to go for a second leg to that $60 level. Man, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Everyone watching is RSI can stay overbought for extended periods of time. Like if you would have sold AVAX back November of 22nd when it had this green candle because you said, "Oh, RSI is overbought," right? That's what I meant, overbought, not oversold. It's overbought. Well, look what happened. It just chopped around just above support before sending. And it was basically overbought this entire time. Like, yes, it dipped below to 69, but it's been near above that 70 level for the longest time. And I mean, if you just look at how much it rose, let's look at the price. I mean, if you would have bought it at support here, all-time highs 35%, over 350% on leverage, even 3x leverage is over 100% trade. And all charts look like this. Like most RSIs are overbought right now. But in a bull market, you can stay overbought for extended periods of time because again, while it measures price strength at the end of the day. So yes, overbought, oversold is good in a ranging market, but in a trending market, overbought means more up, and then in a trending market to the downside, oversold means more down. So when you get in a trending market, again, like yes, maybe short-term pullbacks, but at the end of the day, like most things are going to be overbought.
And as we're speaking about Avax, we have to speak about Chainlink.
Okay,
What do you
let's do
think
it.
about Chainlink?
Chainlink is good, has a good potential. I mean, I think they started integrating not RSI, but
Yeah,
RWA,
yeah,
real world
yeah.
assets, like getting into that narrative. I think it definitely is a good play for that. Even here, talking about RSI overbought, it's retesting the signal line, now bouncing off it as support. I mean, this huge candle from $19 to 20, almost 27. What is that? Like a 35% move. So in one day. So that tells you when Link goes, it goes. I mean, it's almost similar to XRP in a way. Again, not as crazy, but when it starts to run, if we zoom out on the weekly here, we can see that. Let's see. Let's adjust this a little bit lower here. So yeah, it's about to close above this. If you can buy it around $22, that's a media buy. 21, 22 retest of support on the weekly. But we can see here, it almost touched this resistance of around 27. Next would be 33, followed by it's near its all-time highs of 50. So, I mean, even Link looks very interesting. I mean, its RSI is just now getting into overbought territory, so no telling how high it could go. Just like in October, it stayed in overbought for a few weeks. And when it was first overbought, it was around $10. And over that time, in a few weeks, it went from $10 up to 24. Or no, sorry, up to 16. So that's a 60% move. So technically, if we had a 60% move again from, I don't know, we're even going to draw that here from here. 60% move, that would take us, 58%. If we call it when it first got overbought, 60% would take us, or 68 would take us around, $28. So we still have some room to run on Link at a minimum. It's just how
Yeah.
high, and that's not even where it topped out at, right? It just kept going.
I put a small buy on Link. Bro, I fucked up. I seen like a flag, and I put a fat trade on Link on like a little flag. There was like a little flag on like the 4 hour or some shit. Longed it. We went
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I was like, yes, I'm in the clear. I've done it. I was getting ready to share my screenshots, and then we went right down to the bottom. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. But I think the thing is with Link is a this cycle coin. So it's kind of like it can go past all time high. Um, it's got that this cycle vibe. So I really
Yeah,
think
for
it can go
sure.
past all time high.
Exactly. Like, and what I would like to see, if we can get a pullback on Link, to this level, 2175, and then send from there, that would be best. If not, and it just flies, then it flies. But yeah, I think
Exactly.
that's the prime long opportunity if you can get it. And then the RSI even reset a little bit more. Stock RSI resets a little bit more, and then back to the upside. So we'll see if it gives us that. If not, it'll just keep sending.
Yeah, that's why I put like a micro trade on now, not the big daddy. Big daddy
Nice.
close the laptop trade, and if it comes down, I'll put the big one on and turn off the laptop for a bit. You know them ones there. Same with
You
Doge. Like,
reminded me of.
go on.
Oh,
Sorry.
you reminded me by saying daddy. You reminded me of the BitBoy Ansem fight that's happening, and Andrew Tate is sponsoring BitBoy with his daddy coin.
Ah, that's nice.
That's happening soon, actually. The fight. Let me see real quick. That fight. Uh, hold on. Latest. Yeah. See, the boxing match is starting December 6th. So, yeah, I think where is it at? Yeah. It starts December 6th. So, just yeah, just be ready for it when it happens because I'm not sure what happens during the other fights, but it's going to be a big one. So, maybe look at history. I know that someone was making a joke as every time BitBoy fights, the chart goes up afterwards. So, it went up during his last two fights with Bitcoin.
Safe.
Yeah. So, just keep an eye on that. So I think it's going to be Dubai time. It should be around, I think he was saying 10 p.m. Dubai time. So for United States people, it's going to be around lunchtime tomorrow. So
Hey,
uh,
atoms. I'm starting to move
Adam's starting to move. Ooh, we getting this real time?
real time. It's
Hold on.
starting to
Let's
move
see
and
what we
shake a
got.
little bit. Nothing crazy. Just on the hourly and that.
Yeah,
Just on
yeah,
the
yeah.
hourly. It's looking
Ooh, 10:17. All right. All right. Oh, getting a little, yeah.
nothing crazy. You want to see break of the highs?
Yeah, yeah. Pull out the 1 minute chart and
Pull
see
out
what's
the
going
one
on here.
minute. Let's get it cracking. Oh
That
yes.
TWAP in on the 1 minute. All right.
Oh yes.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, if Adam can break this trend line here, that'll be something. But yeah, I mean, I think it's at least got $13. If the other altcoin market can behave. Another one besides Adam is FTM. The strength on
Wow.
FTM was
Yeah.
crazy today. Like, if you look at the daily, like look on the daily, can you even tell it pulled back at all?
No.
Like, it's literally going up only because of their Sonic launch.
Well, we
And
gotta get an
so,
FTM entry. We have to get FTM entry
dude,
soon.
I've been trying to find one, but literally, like, okay, let's go. Like, look. If we here, let me actually go on the 5 minute. You can see how quick this. Look, within 5 minutes, the thing wicked down to 120, and then within 30 minutes, it wicked back up to 132. Look how quickly that was bought up on that dump
What
that we
the
had today.
fuck? But we're gonna
I
have to start
mean,
back in that 20 minute chart. That 20 minute TA.
seriously,
Fuck.
seriously. I mean, if we want to really get to the nitty gritty, I mean, look, this dip literally lasted um 5 minutes. Like, it's crazy how quickly. Cause so everyone had their bid set at 120. Everyone was bidding this. So yeah, I mean within the span of let's call it 2 hours and 43 minutes. It broke its local all-time highs. 2 hours and 43 minutes. And even within, when the drop started, within an hour, it broke its all-time high. Its
Well, we
local
have
high. So,
we have to long FTM.
well, and I'll tell you why it's pumping. 100% we got to long it. If we can get it at 109 is probably not going to happen. 122, this is why people were looking at it, because that's where we wicked to
Ooh.
earlier.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So if we can get it 122, it'd be pretty good. But yeah, like people like Daniel, Daniel Esta, however you say his name, he's been promoting the Phantom Eco, and I think there's even some like Hey Anon is, I think, something with fan. Yeah, maybe you didn't get it. When Sonic launches, you can use a real AI agent. Hey Anon AI is not a screenshot of the design team. So yeah, and this thing was pumping too. Hey Anon, I think this coin was pumping, but yeah. So the Sonic launch, this Daniel guy's pumping it like crazy. He's a really big Phantom. Like I like to call him the Justin Sun of Phantom. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Andre is kind of the creator, but yeah, this guy like loves to pump the ecosystem. He was very well respected back in the day, during the last bull run on Phantom. A lot of his coins were going up like crazy, and so yeah, don't fade this guy. It's Daniel Esesta, Esesta. Um, yeah. So this guy's, and like WAGMI. Here, I'll make you sick for a sec. If my deck screener, okay, there we go. Where is it at? I don't know if it's gonna show it on here. I don't think it shows it on here. But WAGMI actually went up like crazy. I wonder if there's any charts for it. Yeah, so here, one of the most well-known people in all of Web3 is Daniel Sesta. Popsicle Finance has been building for more than a year, and WAGMI token has been strong. So if we can find the ticker, is this... Um, yeah, I guess I'll have to look it up on CoinGecko. Oh, gosh. Well, either way, this WAGMI token was did extremely well over the past couple days. And this guy pumps the Phantom Eco like no one's business. And so, yeah, keep an eye on the Phantom Eco. I think Phantom's going to be a real winner this cycle.
Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm eyeing the Phantom as well. Yeah, I'm looking at Phantom like, shit. Yeah, we'll
Yes.
keep this on the trenches list for sure. We'll try to get a trenches entry for you boys, and that's why you need to make sure that you are inside of the trenches. You are subscribed to the channel, have your notifications on, because these trades are generational. Like you can get FTM, you can hold that for the whole entire cycle, man, and just let it run up.
Yep. 100%. 100%. There's so many opportunities right now, and people need to be locked in because we don't know when we're going to have, that slow bleed, which in my opinion is going to be maybe towards the end of December, beginning of January. And then again, we may be, slow bleed for a couple weeks or a month, and then maybe start towards the beginning to middle of February until April, then slow bleed until September, and then top out in October. Like, so right now, when we have capital flowing in, like this is all hype. Everything that's going on right now is all based on hype because people are expecting the US to start a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So all these countries and nation states are buying ahead of time. The Saudis are buying ahead of time. Institutions are buying ahead of time. That's why even here you can see, I'll go ahead and refresh this for Bitcoin and ETH inflows. So if we scroll down, I mean, we can see December 4th, BlackRock purchased $571 million worth of Bitcoin for their ETF. Today, the number hasn't come through yet. We look at Ethereum, a number probably hasn't come in either. But we can even see here, December 4th, BlackRock bought 124 million worth of Ethereum. And look at today. Look at today. total so far is 135 million worth of Ethereum inflows. That's not even including BlackRock. So we could be near an all-time high for Ethereum inflows over the past couple months, which is why Ethereum has been doing so good, why it's around 3,900 and it's continuing to rise. And so it's only a matter of time before the Ethereum betas like Meta, ENS, even ENA. I'll do one more shill here. So ENA, Athena, was another coin that we called in the trenches at 61 cents. Now it's $1.04. It's went up over 100%, or almost 100% when we called it in the trenches, which was right here. Long ENA, price 61 cents. Last take profit was $1.02. So I actually need to post in the trenches that we hit the profit on ENA because it's $1.04 right now. And guys, this is only November 26th. This is, what, barely a week ago? Come on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like ETH beta plays are going to send Metis, ENS, Pepe, LDO, Optimism, ETC, Ethereum Classic. Like, you just got to be ahead of the rotations. And in the trenches, we're always talking about rotations. Free to join. You just use the Blowfin link. Helps us out. Lets us give you guys the free signals.
Yeah, I think I'm going to blast Pepe.
Yeah. Pepe, let me bring that up too. Let's see what we're looking at. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, Pepe's close. Pepe's close to those all-time highs. Man.
The volume's low though.
Yeah, I hate when I see, I mean, I know the weekly, you can't really go off of that, but like how the RSI looks like it's curving down for the second time and the stock RSI is crossing to the downside on the weekly. That's the only thing I don't like for Pepe. The daily though, there's still some room to go. So a little lesson for everyone on time frames is the weekly can be overbought, but can take a couple weeks to play out. Just like the 4-hour can be oversold and take a couple days to play out, right? It's just based off what time frame you're looking at. So for example, the weekly looks bearish on Pepe, although the daily, the RSI looks like it wants to cross over the signal line again. Stock RSI is crossed to the upside. MACD isn't really curving yet, but it almost looks like it wants to start curving to the upside. And on Pepe, you have, you can't quite call this a symmetrical triangle because it's not equal on each side per se. Yeah. I mean, nah. That's stretching it too much. But nonetheless, you could even put this as a resistance line and see if Pepe breaks this. Maybe that could cause it to send to all-time highs of 2.6, which would be about a 25-30% move. So,
Still
you know,
not. It's not worth
yeah,
it.
nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I mean, yeah, is there probably better setups? Probably. Yeah, for sure.
Like probably
I
just
know.
ETH itself.
Hey, look at Cass. Look at Cass. 164.
Oh,
164 now.
Casca.
Cass is going. I know some people were talking about Whiff or PopCap, like, you know, one of the Solana betas. Whiff looks interesting right here, actually. Look at Whiff on the daily. RSI and stock RSI crossing up. MACD about to cross up.
I think Whiff could
All
be
right.
money.
I mean, look at it. It's curving up right now.
Fuck it. You think we take Whiff? Fuck it. We take for the culture.
I mean, it's not a bad play. At least on the daily, it looks money. I mean, if there's a money play to be had, like, what's Sol at? Sol's at 240. Had a little rejection. But Whiff, I mean, Whiff, like, when's the last time Whiff had a proper run? I mean, that was November 13th. So almost a month ago. Whiff had its run and now it's been consolidating, potentially going for the upside. See, so at this point, what I would be doing, guys, for everyone listening, I would be going to Twitter, hashtag Whiff. Let's see who's tweeting about it right now. If there's any reputable accounts. This guy here, Hyde, I follow him, Hide 6000. Follow him if you're not. He has good TA. He actually talked about Whiff. He said, Whiff creating a strong foundation here, send it. Look at that trend line. Resistance, resistant, support, support, support. So there's one. So that's one area of confluence, right? Scroll down. This guy here, Blunts. Very popular account. Blunts underscore capital. BLUNTZ underscore capital. 303,000 followers. This guy's saying this whiff accumulation is gagging for a bust up. Here we go again. Another confluence posted 5 hours ago. Doc, 3 hours ago. I follow this guy. 31,000 followers. So yeah, guys, people are looking at whiff right now. So at this point, would I take a long? Yes, I would. Over Pepe for sure.
Yeah, Pepe's looking like ass.
Yeah. You know, funny story. Pepe hasn't really been performing like I thought it would. Whenever ETH breaks out, it's just kind of an eh. Like you're better off playing maybe ENS, Lido, ETC, ENA, Metis, OP, ARB even Arbitrum. Like I feel like Pepe is just kind of eh. Maybe because it's already near its all-time highs. Who knows?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's because it's near its highs and.
Yeah, if we're playing whiff here, I would look for 420. 420 from 345.
Bro, that 290 would have been money.
Oh my gosh,
4 days
yes.
ago.
Literally. Literally. So you got about a 20% move in whiff. 3x leverage, 60%, 10x, 200%. Yeah, although the only thing is if you took 10x right now, you'd get licked before you reach 298.
Yeah, that's the issue.
So I'd probably go 5 or 6x max and still net you a good 100%. Because if you did 5x, that'd probably put you at... And guys, a quick math to find out your liquidation price. This isn't full... I mean, this isn't like end all be all, but just take 100 and divide it by whatever your leverage is. And so, for example, 100 divided by 20x leverage, if it goes against you 5%, you're going to get liquidated. 100 divided by 10x leverage, if it goes against you 10%, you're going to be liquidated. Therefore, 100 divided by 5x, if it goes against you 20%, so 345 times, oops, not that. 345 times 0.8. So, and you always got to like pad this a little bit, so add a little more. So I'd say 280, maybe 285 is when you get liquidated on 5x leverage, which is, you know, I would say stop loss would be at a minimum 288 below all these wicks here. So yeah, 5x I think is a safe long, which could still net you up to 100% if it reaches this 420 level. So, yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's go through the. Just going through the altcoin season chart. Hey, what do you think about Elrond?
That's a coin I haven't heard of in a while.
Yeah.
EGLD.
EGLD.
Is that one it? EGLD, yeah.
Yeah.
$55.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, it's got a lot of room to go before it reaches that all-time high. I'll tell you that.
Maybe catch it at 44.
Yeah, say around 40. Not a bad bet.
40.
Yeah, if you can catch it at 40, that'd be a good play. I mean, maybe 50 if you want to be aggressive. Resistance here or support here. Turn resistance, broke above, so should be support if we're looking at the daily. Yeah, maybe 50. Uh, daily doesn't look too good based off of the indicators.
Yeah, it looks a bit ass. I know a few guys that are in that private that are selling heavy.
Yeah. Did they know any big updates that are coming?
No, they actually don't like the guys.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it's nah. I wouldn't be buying here. Just off the daily. Like, even if the weekly was overbought, but the daily was good, okay, I'd buy. But the dailies, if the lower time frames look bad, then I'll wait until those reset. Like the weekly can be overbought, but if the daily's overbought as well, nah. There's better opportunities elsewhere, in my opinion.
Just having a look at. I'm just having a quick scan.
Oh, how about that Hawk Tua coin that people were asking about last stream?
Yeah, hey, give us an update on that. What happened for the
All right,
for the
let's
viewers?
let's go and see what happened. Let's see what happened. 'Cause people were asking about that and seeing if they should invest in it. And what did we say? We said never invest in celebrity coins, right? Because they're pump
Yeah,
and dumps.
yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and check the chart real quick. Let's see how good it looks. It should look pretty good. I mean, she was pretty hyped, right? So it should be up only from now. I think man, even the chart's having a bad time loading this dump. Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and refresh it real quick. Let's see what we're looking at here. Oh. Yeah. I guess it has to load a lot of red candles, man.
Bro, do you know what I was looking at as well? TLM,
TLM, huh?
old school. That's what I mean. I went deep in the trenches. Like I was like, bro, I need that. I need that run up. Need
Yeah.
that moon run. So I was like, let me go through the whole entire Bible and just look for some shares.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's low.
How about that chart?
Oh shit. That's
How about that chart? See, guys, this is why we say never invest in celebrity coins. They're always going to rug you 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Yeah. Let's see. Aortix said straight to a jail. So,
that one hooked was zero.
no, seriously, man. Like, and
And
guys, and this is the 5 minute chart, mind you.
wow,
So,
somebody brought in at 400 million, bro. What the fuck? Why,
dude,
bro?
so
The only reason it went so high is bundled, right? Defo bundled.
no, yeah. So you want to know how much was bundled? Let me go ahead and show you real quick a bubble maps chart of it because you're gonna laugh when you see this chart. Look at 96% of the supply in one cluster.
That's fucked.
Yeah, this is why, guys. This is why, because anytime there's a big hype launch, celebrity coin or any coin, it's always bundled. The team always has a big supply. They're always sending it to KOLs, influencers, exchanges, whoever. And what do those KOLs, influencers, and exchanges do the moment it launches? For most of these projects, there's no vesting, meaning the tokens are unlocked and they can sell them right on launch. So they dump all the tokens and then they reap all the benefits. I think the team, I want to say they made 17 or 18 million off of this coin. If you look at the top traders, look how many traders don't have any wallets. Basically, AKA they were airdropped. 360K, 60K, 60K, 50, 48, 46, 45, 43, 41, 41, 40, 40. And just the list keeps going on. Like a ton of people were inside this trade. And so that's why it goes to show, guys, like, yeah, all these celebrity coins, they go straight to a zero. Yeah.
Hey, what do you
All
think
right.
about TLM?
TLM, let's go check that out. Ooh. RSI looks good on the weekly. maybe. Yes, I mean, it's reaching resistance here at almost 2 cents. RSI still has room to run. MACD still has room to run on the weekly, but the daily looks a little overextended. Now, it can definitely keep going, but I would just be wary of this resistance. Just because it's big weekly resistance. Now, technically, like, yeah, if it breaks it, it could go to 20 or 2.4, but that'd be a 20% move. So,
Yeah, us.
yeah, exactly. So, like, because you can see how much the daily and stuff is here. Whereas what we were just looking at, Whiff on the daily, look at Whiff. RSI is in the middle, crossing over the signal line. Stock RSI is in the middle, crossing over the signal line. MACD is about to cross over. This is what you want to see. This kind of setup.
That's way
Versus
stronger.
100%. Versus TLM, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, versus TLM, where on the daily, stock and RSI are way overbought, and it's coming up against resistance. So, yeah. So let's be wary of that. Let me see what else we got. ETH above 9,500. CAS now is 1,642. So let's do a little calculation. So in the trenches, anyone who traded with 10x leverage is now up 20% in the span of, what was that? We posted this 7:21 for me, so that'd be in 3.5 hours. They're up 20%. GG's.
GG's.
Okay.
GG's trench gang.
Yep.
Cas breaks out from here, bro.
Dude, yeah. I mean, just look at it though. It's got micro support. RSI's crossed to the upside on the daily. Oh yeah. What's his name? Is that? Yeah, someone said her Twitter space last night was a mess. CoffeeZilla did a YouTube on it. Yeah, for Hawktua. Zilla's video.
Oh, he dropped a YouTube video already.
Yeah, he already dropped it because he said after, I think he had to respond to their lawyer or something like that. Something. But yeah, basically they did a Twitter spaces last night. I was listening to it right before it ended for like the last 30 minutes. Literally, they started grilling the team. They started asking tough questions like, hey, how much are y'all getting paid for this? How much are y'all getting paid for this? And then like you can't even make this up. In the middle of the question, the Hawktua girl or Haley says, all right, guys, getting a little tired, so I'm gonna go to bed. And then the guy asking the question was like, what? And then she just left. And then afterwards, one of the team members was like, hey, man, yeah, we're all pretty exhausted today. So, we'll get back to your question. But yeah, it's just been a rough day for everyone. So, all right, guys, we'll get back to you later. They literally ended the spaces. And then I think she deleted the Twitter spaces, that tweet. But luckily, people already recorded the whole Twitter spaces. So it's there. But yeah, it's pretty bad. So,
What?
but
She's
anyway.
stupid.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, again, they got money, right? If you were a celebrity, you didn't have anything, and then you started getting into crypto, you get all this attention, then if someone's like, hey, we can make you millions of dollars, just launch a coin. Oh, that sounds easy enough for you. There's nothing that's going to happen to you. So that's why it pays to know people. But like you said, the Caspa, it's looking good. I mean, this candle's looking good. The only thing I hate about Caspa, just in general, is these wicks. Like,
So
how many
choppy.
wicks it has. Dude, like, it's like there's no liquidity on this coin. It's just wicks back and forth. If I had to look, let me go ahead and look at the volume on it. And look, it's only up 3% today. Still so much more to go. If we look at the volume, 218 mil worth of volume. We look at the markets. Oh, wow. Is Caspa not on Binance?
No.
It's not even on Binance.
Yet,
exactly. Literally, its biggest volume exchange is Gate.io. That's surprising.
So that is why it is wiki.
Exactly. 80 million of volume from Gate.io, which is probably a lot of wash trading with MEXC as well. 54 million. Then you have Bybit. It's probably the realest volume here at 16 million, which is still not bad.
So this is bullish because if it's not on Binance yet, that could
Not on
really put in some
Coinbase.
highs. Yeah, that could put in some highs for Caspa.
Yeah. And also, do you follow Tomb on Twitter?
No,
You should follow him too.
what's he say?
Tomb Heads, 52K followers. He posts about where's his stuff for Caspa? He had a tweet. Oh, here we go. 21 hours ago. Like, this is the most revolutionary tech in crypto right now. Scalability, security, and blockchain tech. It has built its house on the most solid foundations. MMs have kept it in this range for over a year. They know this is a top 5 crypto. Let's see. Everything else is pumping. You'll chase. Then yeah, be ready. Yeah, I'll raise my targets. And so this guy's really good. Like, I've been following him for a while. This guy's really good. And he's posting arrows here to 40 cents or higher. And so, yeah, he says, I'm not being a moon boy, just saying if you held through that accumulation, don't get shaken out. A lot of accumulation here. Just imagine when it breaks out.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm thinking with Caspa, it looks like now we know, because I didn't really look into like the Binance type of thing. I understand about Caspa chain, but I didn't know that's not on Binance and Coinbase. That makes me very bullish on it because it means that it has higher. Like, once it gets the volume, everyone starts speaking about it, it can go much higher.
Yeah. So it's only a matter of time before this little range ends up, or are we about, break out up here? Yeah, or go even higher. And so, and I mean, also, I just saw this. You could even say, I mean, this is a stretch, but you could even say here, like, did we have, resistance, 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 turn support? Like, is this finally when it actually, from July, and then it starts going back up? Potentially. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm eyeing up the chart myself too. I think if we stay in this range, I'm actually going to DCA in a good trade. Oh, notifications on Floki pinging. What's going on with that?
You said Floki?
Yeah. Floki's just chopping. Nothing crazy.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was ripping and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, nothing crazy. It's been bouncing off of the 20 cents level. That is 0.02. But nothing crazy. I think like the next trade, to be honest, is probably going to be the all-time high breaks of like Floki, Mog. Even we have to wait for Bonk again. Bonk was hella ass. Bonk was hella ass. It broke out nicely. I was like, oh, we're gonna go to the moon, and it just it shattered. Like, that was hella ass.
Oh yeah.
3 weeks down, I was like, oh shit. I was ready for Bonk to start, like, when it start, you see that knocking on doors video meme where it starts knocking on doors and it's like, right, next.
Yeah, the little Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
It knocked on your door, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Bonk knocked on my P&L. It knocked on.
Oh yeah, good old Bonk. Like, it should, like, now. I mean, let's see. Bonk may be having a little redemption arc here
With Solana.
Yeah, if it can do a little one of these, same as Whiff, if it can do a little cup, maybe we could just retest.
So when Solana breaks its all-time high, I'm gonna go long on Act, Goat, Bonk, and Whiff.
Nice. So what's your thesis on Act and Goat? of a Solana all-time high break?
So Act and Go are the biggest AI metas,
Yep.
and AI is a big trend. And if you look at most whale movements, they mainly rotate between Act and Go. Now, if you have a look, you can actually long Act and Go on perpetuals. So, like a 2x from those things, remember, is 100% move. And these things should be going into the multi-billions of market cap. So, like a good long on like Act Go will be like very, very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice, like trade, like hundreds of percent trade, in my opinion.
100%. No, that's good. And I think too, the beta plays, like with Solana all-time high break, Bonk Whiff, all those betas, Popcat even. I think those definitely could moon, which Popcat's another one. Let's look at that. Let's see if that one's doing a little cup pattern too. I know it was actually doing pretty well, which on the daily, look at that. Not too bad. RSI crossed over the signal line already.
Which one
Popcat
is
could
this?
be
Popcat?
Popcat, yeah.
Okay, I might
Popcat
take
may be
that.
a little how you doing? Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I mean the RSI break and that. One of the guys I know, he's a really good trader. He's looking for Popcat $2.
I can see that.
Yeah. So near all-time highs at Solana. Like we could even let's go ahead and just real quick put Sol on top. Let's do I guess we'll do Sol Binance, new price scale. So we can see here, like, yeah. So like if we think Solana is going to keep going here, the last time it kept going, we saw Popcat rise from 120 to $2. So when Solana went from 157 to 215, and Popcat went up 60%. Yeah, so it's an okay beta play. Like it's nothing crazy, you know. But
Do you know what I just longed?
what?
RSR. Bro,
RSR.
I don't even know if I even did I tell you what happened with my RSR long?
No. What happened?
Bro, I was up at 5 a.m., right?
Yeah.
And I did the 618. So if you plot a fib from its breakout to the bottom.
Okay. Oh, fib from the bottom. Fib retracement from the
The,
bottom here.
the top to the bottom, like the other way around. Yeah. Let me zoom into my screen so I can see on there. Yeah, you'll see, and then go to like the daily.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see that 618.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you see we're right on it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I longed it there, right? And then same day, which is what we're doing now, where we're pumping right now. If you go on like the hourly, you see we're pumping off that 618. Same day, we had that crazy pump, but I was up like 60 G's. I was like, yo. I was like screenshotting it and shit. I put it in like whatever, and I put my stop loss to break even because I was like, right, okay, so this is like a very strong rejection. Like this is very strong, right?
Yeah.
Put my stop loss to break even, woke up, stopped out for like 1K profit. I was like, fuck off. I was like, fuck off. Right, see how we came right back down to the entry again? That's why we took it. We took the long.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Because
wild. Oh, okay. So you were taking it like right here basically.
yeah.
Like when it was go. Okay.
And then if you
And
go
then it
to the
went up a
hourly,
lot.
yeah, so go to the
Yeah.
hourly. It was actually in like a 5-minute candle. So look at that candle.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
so
wild.
that's actually a 5-minute candle. So go to like the 5-minute, you see, look crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I was like, yo, and my entry's so low that it's like that.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, now we're gonna go above support. I was like, this is the one. I was like, yeah. I showed my girlfriend. I was like, babe, watch this. This one's getting us out the hood. I was like, watch this one. It's gonna be mad. And she's like, yeah. She's like, you should close it. I'm like, nah.
Oh, the girlfriend with the good advice.
Yeah, yeah. You know. So I
See,
got smoked. But do you want to know my theory?
here's what we should do. Here's what we should do from now on. Anytime we screenshot something, just take half profit.
Yeah.
Take half
Minimum,
profit right away. Minimum.
minimum. Bro. Because do
I
you want to
swear
know,
that is like never fails. The screenshot method never fails.
bro? Screenshot method is proven.
Tried and tested. Like, you know, kids love it. It's mother approved. Everything.
It's family friendly.
Family friendly, man. Like,
So,
yeah.
so do you want to know the thesis behind the long and why I'm even re-entering this position?
Yeah, interested.
So, the guy who just got hired as SEC, right,
Mhm.
from
Yep.
Donald Trump, he's an advisor to
Mhm.
RSR and
Yeah.
Ondo.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh, reserve right. Ooh, also investor is David Sachs. Oh, here. I don't think you can see that on the screen.
Oh shit.
Here, yeah, just move my head, maybe like above yours or a little bit to the left or right. Yeah. So like, yeah, like here, David Sachs actually just got appointed as like the crypto AI czar by Trump, and I guess Zach is a backer of RSR supposedly. I don't know if this guy's LARPing. Eh.
No, actually got announced by Donald Trump on Donald Trump's Twitter.
Yeah. Here, yeah. Points David Sachs, and so like, yeah, and like you were saying about that one guy, that other guy who got appointed here. Yeah, Paul Atkins as the SEC chair.
Yes.
Yep, previous advisor on Reserve Protocol, and then also David Sachs, White House crypto czar, investor on Reserve Protocol.
So
So yeah.
if you think about insider trading,
Yep.
I think RSR is the insider trade, right? And I think the reason why it got pushed down so heavy, I think that is like the highest example of price suppression. Now,
Yeah.
I don't think, touch wood here, that they can push it down to like 0.10. I don't think like
Yeah.
they can push it all the way back down to that the initial breakout on that from the weekly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for that FTM level position.
Man, if it's like right here, that's 146% from where it's at right now. If we look at the RSI apples to apples, 146%. I mean, that would be right about here, which lines up with this resistance here.
Yeah, it's a big boy trade.
Yeah.
It's a big boy trade. So I'm thinking, so I took an entry here. That's half my position, and I'm gonna double down at 0.0 like 1.6. I'm thinking, but I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, if we're talking nearest resistance, like 0.127, that'd be, I mean, obviously that'd be best if it can even get there. But that was the next big one. Well, like, but if we got to go lower, like,
it's so tough to catch.
If we go to the hourly, maybe 0.156. Like if you're trying to get this wick here, but yeah, it's it's not much. Like if it goes below this, if it goes 156, we're going down to 127. Like if it breaks this level here.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean this, like you said, it's a 618. It's held multiple times. Resistance turns support. Like there's a lot of confluence at this 175 level.
Tell you what, bro, it's a sweet trade if it comes through.
If it comes through, that'd be good. I mean, the 1 hour RSI looks good. 4 hour RSI looks good. Daily crossing back under. Hopefully we see it. I mean, that's a reset right there. Hopefully we see it curve back. And then weekly, if we're comparing it to March of this year, technically still have room to run. Yeah, it's a very interesting trade. Like we had that huge breakout. Obviously, you had the sell-off. The volume of it, let's see.
But the volume's
The
nuts.
volume, 400 mil. Markets, it's on Binance. 125 mil of volume. Big boys trading it. OKEx, BitHum, Gate, Mexi. Yep. It's on all the main ones besides Coinbase and Upbit and Bybit. Oh, it still hasn't gotten a Bybit listing.
No, I'm on Bybit.
Interesting. Huh?
I longed it on Bybit.
Oh, okay. I guess they just don't have it on here.
Not showing up, yeah.
Unless it's like way back. Nice.
I got in and I'm
very interesting. I mean, looking at that max chart looks crazy.
Do you know what I mean, bro? Like, look, it's going to all-time high, bro. Has to.
10 cents.
Yeah, 10 cents. Moon boy. Right. Moon boy. It's going to $1. That's
at that point. You're way out of the trenches by that point.
Yeah, bro. Like, fuck. On like a 14 grand trade, goes to all-time high. I'm not gonna hold it to that long. I'll probably hold it to like halfway, but just for imagination's sake, that would be like $500,000. It's not bad, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Not bad. $500,000. You can do something with $500,000.
Can get about with that.
That's right.
A Lambo and a watch. Life's good. You know what I mean?
Lambo and a watch. Exactly.
Lambo and a watch. Proper starter kit, crypto starter kit.
Right. I love that. Yeah. RSR is an interesting one.
Check out Ondo, because Ondo was the other one that fits this narrative. And the reason why it was pumping before was actually because of poly markets, which I didn't see that for the original RSR pump. So because it got released on poly markets and everybody longed it from there.
Let me see where it has the most history. Let's see. I guess just do big. Okay, no. More or less all these exchanges are the same. But yeah. Ondo, man, I was looking at Ondo at 120-ish. Around like right here I was looking at it. But faded that one and now it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, if Ondo can hold 166, it's going to 194 for sure. RSI looks like it still wants to go more. Man, yeah, Ondo's definitely if you can get it around 140, that's definitely a buy. 140 is that weekly support. RSI still has room to run. I mean, it could be one more 20% candle, which that would put it at all-time highs. Yeah. Yeah, Ondo's a good RWA coin. I mean, the top one. I think RWA is going to catch a bid next year for sure. Like, that's when the tokenization of assets becomes real. That's when you have Larry Fink, like he's already starting his companies, his like tokenized whatever companies, and that's going to start coming to fruition next year. There's going to be a lot of RWA stuff that's actually going to be legitimate and real world like use case.
Hey,
people buying houses, cars, everything.
We might be able to capture the Caspa breakout live.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. What are we looking at here? Actually, let's do... Oh, wow, 165. Hey-oh. Let's do this. This is nice. This is nice. Caspa breakout live.
Caspa breakout live, boys. ETH is pumping. I think if we break like 0.17, probably going to add to my position.
Yeah.
I want to have like 20 G's in it. 10x, 200k position.
Where are you long from? Or are you're not long yet, right?
No, I'm long from the trench call, so I'm up.
Okay, cool. So you're up a good 20% plus right now.
Yeah.
More or less. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But I want to add to it. I want like good amount. It's DGen. It's going to put on my order, but probably wait for the daily close, right? Because these wicks are...
Yeah, I mean, the thing with, I mean, you can see here, obviously, the levels are pretty far spread out. Like, I would say the big resistance you want to look for to be safe is if it closes the weekly above 171. Because that's been such big resistance since August, man. The weekly hasn't closed above 1.7 since August. That's wild.
That is wild.
So if we can get a close above, I mean, we're already getting higher highs. We've been getting higher highs since November 11th. So now we're about to get another higher low and send even higher and go for those all-time highs near 20 cents. Possible. I think it's more than possible.
And no Binance listing? Sweet.
No Binance listing yet. Like, yeah, it's got Bybit, MEXC, KuCoin. Wait, here we go. Still Binance? Perpetual? Okay, so perpetual contracts, Binance is still on it.
That's good then.
Okay, yeah. So at least you got big boy volume. Okay, so that tells you something, right? That tells you big boys are interested now. If it's on Binance, at least they're perps, and the perps are increasing like this, maybe they're finally ready to send it after suppressing it for all this time.
Give it that spot listing.
Huh. Imagine. Let's see what people are saying about Cas real quick.
By the way, guys, while we're going through this, if you do want to learn how to trade, all you have to do, head over to the link inside of the description, join my announcements channel. Inside of there, you'll see a pinned message for the trenches. Once you can join the trenches, you'll see a full tutorial and guide on how to trade using Blowfin. Blowfin is a trading platform that we like to use because it is non-KYC. That means that they do not need your information to trade. You can trade from anywhere on the planet, and it's fair and equal for everybody. On the contrary, right, on the other side of things, if you look at platforms like Bybit, for example, or KuCoin, or MEXC, and Coinbase, these platforms, they're great, yes, but not everybody can use them. They need all your information. They're very hard to set up. Whereas if you use Blowfin, click of your fingers, you can be active in taking the trades. Currently, the trade that we are taking is Caspa, and that's why we're doing a little bit more due diligence on it to go through and take a look at it. You can see some of the wins that people are having as well. Inside of the trenches are absolutely massive. You see WorldCoin, 600%. Caspa is already up 32% from the long trade inside the trenches. Other people up 58% on things like Dogecoin as well. And many other people making profits. So if you do want to get started, link inside of the description, join Telegram and get involved.
Perfect. Yeah, someone just tagged me in the wins channel. They said, "We are live, LOL." They tagged that cast long that we had. Love it.
Yes, clean.
That's how we do it. Yeah, looking at casts on some Twitter things, we're seeing 5 hour here. The first weekly bullish cross of the 10 and 21 EMAs in cast history. Despite what you may have heard, this is the true golden cross in crypto land. Wow. Look at that. It hasn't crossed since, I don't know how long.
Forever.
So that shows you where Cas is going. This guy here, I'm following him. Actually, Jim Hunter, funny enough. So this guy is saying the inverse head and shoulder pattern is still in play. I'm waiting to see a breakout above 18 cents. Caspa will be in the top 10. This guy's got 73K followers. I have over 30 mutuals with him. So, you know, he's pretty legit.
See, that's interesting. He's also waiting for the break above. He said 18, we said 17, right? But he's also waiting for that weekly close.
Exactly. This inverse head and shoulders pattern, which We can actually draw that on the chart real quick. Let's see. Let's go to the daily. Oh, yeah, that looks beautiful. I'm surprised I didn't see that earlier. So here we go. Boom, 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 boom. So, yeah.
Very
You
nice.
could even say, yeah, you could even say it looks better if I draw it with a brush. Boom, boom, boom. Inverse head and shoulder pattern there. And we all know what happens when that breaks out. We
Yeah.
may see something like up, ba 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 ba, ba and then boom. But either way, like, yeah, that looks good. So people are watching cast right now. Let's see who else. Yep. Whales playing 4D chess, shaking out weak hands. This guy, look at this, 95K followers. I have over 66 mutuals with him. Took a fresh position on Cast, the strongest coin in the bear market, and took a cool off once memes started running hot. I'm thinking with tech coins coming back into play and this having a cult following, it could begin a new cycle in the near future. Yeah, big boys are starting to eye it.
That's all we need to see. That's all we
Yeah,
need to see,
Cast is
boys.
about to be 10 blocks per second. Wow.
Hopefully
Wow, you
we
see
get
that?
like a Caspa meme season or some kind of thing to really fuel this.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know.
some coins on Cast that I was looking at, like some of the first ones, popular ones are Nacho. Nacho the cat. He was on Caspa.
Not your cat.
His charts just, yeah. So he's on the KRC 20 chain. You see on Cas. So that's one. And also Casper with a K. Right here. This little ghost. This was one of the ones that were somewhat hyped. So if Cas gained some traction, maybe these people could start going up again. But yeah, like it'd be good. It's just they need good UI. I haven't tried, like I've tried their wallets a few times. They're a little buggy in the beginning, but hopefully they're refining that to where the UI should be a lot better. But
It's giving them Solana
nonetheless,
vibes.
yeah, possible, very possible.
Yeah, you're
What
right,
other?
bro. The weekly close, like above, I'm just looking at it now, 17 cents is like,
Oh yeah, it's big.
oh, yeah, that's big, bro.
If it can close the weekly above 17, where literally it's had, if we just pull down this resistance level, I mean, 17's it. We close the weekly. I mean, we got what, 3 days to close it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you really want to, you know, you really want to get above all weekly closes, then you could even try this one here, which is around 171. So if it closes 172, we're off to the races. We're going to all-time highs.
Yeah, that's where I would increase the position for sure.
Yeah. So you just need confirmation. Which, yeah, even this trend line, somewhat trend line break maybe. That could be the change in the trend, right? Trying to see if there's any
It
RSI.
give it that Bitcoin top trend line that we was looking at before with BTC. You know, from like the early launch, yeah, like that. Put one of them
Uh-huh.
on a CAS. So like, yeah.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah, and then measure that inverse head and shoulders to the high, and it aligns directly to that 24.
Or you mean like this inverse head and shoulders,
Yeah,
and it goes up all the way up until the 24 level. Yeah, that could be a play.
I think that could be the play too, bro. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
I mean, the indicators are definitely reset for a run. I mean, in this, if we're just looking at candle patterns here, like they call this an inverse hammer. And if you go, let's see, hold on. Or actually, let's see if we can. The Here we go. This is what I was looking at. So see this little hammer here? Hammer candle.
Yes.
Well,
Reversal.
yes. So then you go to Cas, little hammer. So that could be something. Potentially, when you have this huge wick on the weekly, but all this buying, right? Just like we saw this doji, or you could even call this a shooting star right here. It was up, went all the way down, but got bought up. Now we could be doing the same thing. We could be making this candle, and the next one just shoots up afterwards, right? Like,
Boom.
like something like that. So
Yeah, the coming week, even this month, heavy positions.
yeah, heavy. Yeah.
My C98 position's looking good.
Oh yeah. Remember you asked me about that. I totally forgot to look at that.
Bro, would you believe?
But-
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I faded this. I faded this hard.
Yeah, boy.
All right. I gotta chart this real quick.
We're going to the moon, bro. That's it. C98 to $4. I've got like a crazy memory. And one thing I will always remember is like Bybit hot tabs. Do you know you always see like the ones that go hot? And I can remember
Yeah.
this being hot in like freaking like 20, it was like 2021 or some shit. C98. Some of my friends got into private sale for it and made like 500x.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I reckon like all of this
Man.
is like private sale dumpage, and then now we have the redemption arc.
It's like literally if you go to all-time highs, you can barely even squish it.
Crazy.
That's wild. Man. Do you have any targets you're looking at right now?
Do you know what? I've just put like small margin in it. I put like 2K, 3K,
Mhm.
and I've just left it. What leverage? I think I've did some dumb leverage there. Let me check. If I didn't do no stupid leverage. Okay, yes, I did some stupid leverage. I did 10x on the trade.
Okay.
It's a bit stupid. But with that being said, um, I want to see it come up to the. It sounds crazy, but after looking at the Hbar and all of those other patterns, right? I want to see it come up to that top line, like the floor of where it previously was at 0.4,
Yeah.
0.4, and then hopefully like $1,
Yeah.
and then maybe even 170. But geez, it would have to like actually be able to do something like.
That'd be wild.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, at that point, you're talking about was that a 5x on 10, 500% over 10K trade?
exactly.
I mean, no. That's a lot more than that. What am I saying? 500 times 25. Man, what would that be like a
I'll tell you how much.
500 times 10, 5,000%? That's a lot. That's like a 20K, 30K trade.
Yeah, if it goes to $1.40, I'll make 4,000%.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
4,000%. 40x on $2,000, $80,000.
Yeah. I've got 3 point, let me check, 3.8 in.
Oh wow,
120K.
150K.
Yeah, 150K. 150K. And like, it's what I should have done with Sand. I had this same pattern put out on Sand. So if you look at Sand, Sand also did this pattern. And I was just so ass. I was in fucking Bangkok. Worst trip I ever did in my life. Just like, so like, with trading, you have to be super dialed in. Like, you have to actually like have a thesis behind what you do so you remember. Can't just like click the
Yeah.
button because you'll forget. If
Uh-huh.
you look at Sand, Sand is doing that pattern. So it has that double bottom. Now we're at the top of the range, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it will go and reclaim the bottom of where it was before, where it's like the whole arse fell out of it, just about there.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yep.
So
Yeah, about 80 cents plus or minus.
yeah, exactly. So I'm looking at that pattern everywhere. If you've noticed, a lot of the little like shit coins I'm looking at like that because Sand. Let's be honest, Sand was a shit coin. Everybody says, "Oh, Sand's finished," blah blah blah, and then now it's like everyone's like they love it, So I don't see why that
Exactly.
can't be the same for like C98 or Atom, for example. Even like obviously Caspa's not the same pattern, but Caspa gets the same treatment. Reef as well. Mana. Like one of these is gonna go. Mana,
Exactly the same chart.
yeah, like Mana, C98, um, Reef, and yeah, I think that's it. Mana, C98, Reef and Atom. One of them is gonna like fully recover, from the lows, and it will print like a 300 to 500%. So if I've got like 4K in each of them, it's like picking bets, right? One of them's gonna flop. Maybe two of them do well. That's like you make 300K, you lose like 20K.
Yeah. Just measuring out this risk to reward, seeing what works best.
Mm,
Kind of shotgun approach. Hit 3 big ones, lose 7 bad ones, still make over a 2 or 3x on big money.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking, man. Like,
Which, I mean, technically, we're getting ahead of the bull run, so it should be. We should be go. So Brent asked, "What indicators that this drawing your levels automatically, or do you draw those manually?"
oh, I rate that.
Yeah, yeah, Brent. I'm doing them manually, but I'm just doing them super fast. It's I do Alt H. That's a shortcut to draw these horizontal lines. So I've been doing TA a long time, so I can just look at levels and just quickly just pop them off. But I just look where it's bounced in the past. That's resistance, support, turn resistance, resistance, turn support. So
And it really is that simple. Like, I'll be honest. I have a lot of indicators, which I'll scan through, but you generally can't beat just price action, man.
yeah, 100%.
You can't beat
Uh,
price action because like if you just rely on an indicator, you don't understand price action. Sometimes the indicators they're not necessarily wrong, but they might have the wrong timing in play. And indicators also, especially if they're not taking into account volume, they might not actually understand where the market's at. But if you understand like, okay, market sentiment, we're bullish now. Okay, we've just flipped this resistance, that's just flipped into support. For example, with like Ethereum, for example, an indicator might be a little bit bearish on Ethereum right now, but with ETH, we've just turned a 7-year resistance into support. So we're bullish.
exactly. And that's okay. Speaking about 7-year resistance to support, you reminded me of a chart on XRP. Let's see if I
Oh,
can find. No, hold on. Let me see where I can find the actual XRP chart that I drew. Here it is. Look at this on the bit stamp. Look at that resistance on XRP. I had this drawn forever. Resistance, resistance, like right here. Boom, boom. And
Wow.
finally, like it started and then started bouncing off of it, and then just shot.
Wow.
Yeah. And unless you were looking at it on the Bitstamp chart, which had all this history, you couldn't find this. This was literally a 7-year trend line.
You know which else has that? SHIB.
Yeah.
Yeah, SHIB has a big downtrend. You got like wick, or I think it's like wick to body or body. Yeah, there. Boom.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. So SHIB, I was long SHIB on the lows, made a bit of money, but obviously I took some shit trades, so I had to sell the SHIB to balance out the other shit. But if we hold above there, I think SHIB could be a trench call, because
This may be an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Maybe. Like, kind of stretching it.
stretching it. But
I,
it's if we come down
yeah,
again,
I'd have to. Yeah. Yeah, if it comes down again, potentially. Like, you could try it like this, like the head is right here, and then the right shoulder is right here. Left and right, barely. But
notice as well how SHIB didn't have a dip when BTC was shit in his pants either.
oh yeah. Yeah. No, it got bought up fairly quickly.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
let's actually perpetual. Yeah, when BTC shit the bed, SHIB didn't really like that wick was extremely quick as BTC was still going down. Like, yeah, it held on pretty good. Because and that's the thing is you would expect most altcoins. See if I can try to. Yeah, as Bitcoin falls like this, I mean, you expect them to do the same, or they would just be, you know, all the way down. But yeah, it barely did anything. So that's another one. Um, yeah, but that, like you were saying, that 7-year trend line, or not 7-year, but how
it's not. Yeah,
long? Or,
I don't know how many years it
uh,
is.
so okay, so it was about 3 years, a 3-year trend line since October of 2021. Man, that's interesting.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Well, look, I mean, you see that? If you do candle
ooh,
body to candle body, it bounced off it as support.
that's interesting.
Yeah. The RSI still has room to go on the weekly. Stock RSI is super high, but maybe a little more room to go. Iffy. Usually gets up here before reversing. But I mean, look at this though. Look at this. Look at when SHIB, October of 2021, the stock RSI was just higher than it is right now. And SHIB still went from 2771 all the way up to 8841. It literally did a 4x even when the stock RSI was this high because it just stayed up there at this 100 for a couple weeks.
I think SHIB could be a play.
Could be a play. La Money Regina says I can't find the pinned post for the trenches. Make sure you're looking at Crypto King Telegram.
Yeah, I'll put a comment inside of the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. Yeah. If you go to yeah, it should be yeah, it's on August 10th, but maybe was it not there anymore?
This one,
No, yeah.
yeah, trenches.
Yeah, so it should be in there. So if you just go every message in this channel be deleted after 24 hours, just look at that one and then Trench's membership bot. It's right here. So yeah, just click it and you'll see the little link. So yeah, right here. Go to yeah, should be
There you go.
Yeah, ship could be a trade. And also a good thing too is like there's patterns that we draw on charts, but you can also draw patterns on the RSI. So I had this pattern here drawn on the RSI, which is a descending wedge. Usually you draw this on candles. Look what happened though, is it broke out to the upside and it just kept going. So you can draw these on the RSI too. That's why it's very, very powerful if you guys can utilize this correctly. Like, yeah. And that's when you pair that with the breakout, like when it started to break out, Bitcoin hadn't broken out of this downtrend yet that it was in since March. This parallel channel downtrend. Really what this downtrend was on Bitcoin was just a bull flag. We had the pole, we had the flag pole, we had the chop, and then once we had the breakout happened the same time after we retested the signal line as support and bounced off of it. So once the breakout happened with Bitcoin, retested this trend line resistance as support, and then we were off to the races. So TA works because a lot of high frequency trading algorithms use them in their calculations. And when certain criteria is met, they hit the big buy button.
Okay, guys. So with that being said, we'll do like probably 5 minutes of Q&A, which will bring us up to like 10 to. So if anybody has any questions inside of the comment section, fire them in the chat right now. You got 5 minutes. We'll go through a few questions that people might have. It might be related to trading, might be related to meme coins, might be related to markets. Maybe it's your favorite coin or token that you want to have a look at as well. Let us know in the comment section, and we will answer it to the best of our abilities. I need to get the live chat option up on my side as well.
I know. Fizzly asks, what are you planning to buy after this call?
That's a smart question.
Boy. Tell him it'll be in the trenches.
It will be, yeah, anything we buy is inside the trenches, man.
Saw someone else ask, do you enter trades on the 1 hour or 4 hour? So yes and no. So I like to enter trades when we're close to daily support or weekly support. And when the RSI is under 70, so it's not overbought, preferably on the daily time frame. But as far as entering on the 1 hour or 4 hour, so I'll enter on the 1 hour or 4 hour if I'm extremely bullish on a coin and it's really shown no pullback. For example, Phantom here, it's basically been up only for the past couple weeks. So there's no support on the weekly. The daily, okay. Now we're starting to see a little bit of support, right? So you could say, okay, 120. But let's just say it may not get to 120. Maybe I can go to the 4 hour. Okay, now previous resistance was 130. Now it's turned support on the 4 hour. So maybe my first entry is going to be 130 based on the 4 hour. So technically that could be an entry. If I think it's just going to keep going and there's going to be very shallow pullbacks, I could DCA at 130, DCA at 120. And if it ends up getting down here in this 110 level, DCA there as well. Like that's how you could use the 4 hour or the 1 hour. If literally it's just straight up and there's not much retracement, then that's when you enter on the lower time frames. If you think it's going to continue due to some big news or whatever have you.
Yeah, and news is a big thing as well. So, like at this stage of the market cycle that we're in, your news is super important. Like if you have access to finding like news, well, even little news in a bull market pumps markets like huge, right? Huge. We've seen it with the RSR situation, right? That news sent the price of RSR, right? So
want to look for things like with Caspa, when Caspa had its listing, Caspa was like, oh, okay, we're making a chain, right? Cash chain or whatever they're going to call it, right? Releasing all these coins on this Caspa chain. Then all of a sudden, the news sent the price like crazy, right? We have Dogecoin. I think it's Dogecoin's birthday today. Yes, Dogecoin's birthday today.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah. Dogecoin's birthday today.
Yeah. Is it today? Wow.
Yeah, December 6th. It will be 11 years old. That's bullish.
Nice.
Right? That's bullish. Okay.
Yeah.
In the bear market on Dogecoin's birthday, nobody gives a shit. But it's bull market. Right?
Hey.
So it's going to have a lot of attention. It might pump 10%. The thing is where we are now, if Dogecoin pumps on its birthday, ooh, wait. Here's one. So if it's December the 6th, right? And it's Doge's birthday, how did it perform last cycle on its birthday?
Well, back during the first pre-run, it went from 9.4 cents on its birthday to a high of 10.7. That was just over a few days. That was when we were having the pre-pump.
Mm-hmm.
So 9.4 to 10.7. Almost a 14% move, which we measure 14% from where it's at now. Puts us nearly at 50 cents.
There we go. And once you break 50 cents, all-time highs around the corner. And that would be a nice trade for the trenches, because trenches already have a trade open from this.
Yep.
Right. One more question. Someone said, I can get you Bullex. Well, I can get you Bullex. All you have to do is comment on my videos and you get Bullex. Bullex, which one is best? Bullex or Blowfin? Bullex and Blowfin are two different things, bro. So Bullex is to trade meme coins, like low market cap meme coins on Pump Fund. Blowfin is to trade large market cap tokens, like the Bitcoin, for example, Ethereum, for example, right? Like some of the coins like Dogecoin, for example, you can trade them, and you can trade them with leverage as well. So you need both. You need Bullex and you need Blowfin. And last
100%.
question, Nero. So to finish it off, let's have a look at the Nero chart. I don't know which one that he's speaking about.
Yeah, right. We'll go with the one on Binance.
Yeah, Binance Nero.
Yeah. More or less around here. Okay, so Nero doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. On the daily, the stock RSI and the RSI look good. Look like they're about to cross to the upside. Technically, this is kind of stretching it, saying we have a descending wedge here, but if you want to call that some type of wedge pattern in a sense, like maybe. But at the very least, I would say maybe you got a little bit of resistance here once we break this out. I mean, we do have it just below the 50 EMA on the daily, so if it crosses above this, could gain some traction. But I do like where the RSI and stock RSI are at, and it's near support. So this may not be a bad bet. Yeah, Nero may not be bad. So I would potentially be a buyer here, risk reward wise. And then with invalidation at 161 below all these wicks. So invalidation right about here.
Okay, nice. All right, guys. So with that being said, that's it for today's video. We will have some more live streams. We're working on getting these more regular. We'll probably do like 2 or 3 a week. Some spontaneous streams when the market's really, really bumping. Expect a similar time as today when it comes to the markets as an overall. And then when it comes to like meme coins and stuff like that, if I want to stream, I'll stream like evening my time as well. So it'll probably be like 8 hours from now for meme coin streams, and then about this time most days for trading streams as well. Remember, links in the descriptions for Crypto Data's channel. If you do want to learn more about trading, make sure you check it out. That's where you're going to find all the latest news and announcements on the markets. With that being said, bro, appreciate you, Dale. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you, Tyrell. Always a pleasure. Till next time.
Peace.